like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. This time I will be reviewing and reacting to the Pice, aka Armand Palmer, interview that he did on Bigo.
Prettier opportunity, you feel me? So boom, I fucking left. I got the fuck up out of there, right? And then maybe a week after I left, see, I kept quiet. Y'all ain't know where the fuck I went, where the fuck I was. Y'all didn't even know I left until I said I left type shit. So I moved in silence, right? So it took me a good week because I was isolated. It took me a good week to like realize every single fucking goddamn fucked up scenario that he had. I have great memory. This nigga, oh my god, the stories I can tell you people, like the fucked up shit and how he twisted it and lied about it to make it seem like it was something that it wasn't, to make him seem innocent, is like on a whole nother complete other level of fuckery and like fucked up warped shit in his head. Like it's ridiculous. And it took me.
Hey y'all, brief intermission. I just want to let y'all know, don't get overly excited because I feel like in this interview, Armand, aka Pisces, was not very transparent and open. So while he says that he could tell so many stories of the fuckery and all of this, he's not going to really. He's going to hint at some things, but not really get into the nitty gritty.
About a week to realize like, damn, all that shit was fake. All of that time, all of the times he was like, it was this, but it was looking like that. It was really that, and it wasn't no excuse. He just came up with it because he was gaslighting motherfuckers, like real shit.
Okay. Yeah. He was one of the biggest gaslighters that I ever known. He also was extremely manipulative, but that the books that he has read, I believe he has used them as teaching tools for himself. Have you ever heard
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Master
You ever heard of what?
Have you ever heard of the man? His name is Master of Earth.
Yeah, I know about him. I've heard about him. I never like watched his like what's the names or nothing like that, but I've heard about him.
Okay. Did you know about Eligio following him and dealing with him in the very beginning? Did you know that that's who he looked up to at one point in time?
No, I didn't know that was his like idol or no shit like that. I did know that they had a connection though. Like I did know that. Like he knew of him and like I'm pretty sure he mentioned they met up one time, I believe, but like never that that was like who he like recognized as an icon or something like that in his head. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Why do you say
Okay.
that though?
Okay, because if you go back and look on YouTube, I want you to go. He's still there. The videos are still there. He's not there, but the videos are still up. Look at his teachings. His teachings are so similar to Eligio's, and I believe it's been about 5 or 6 years now. But just go back when you get time and look at him, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, really?" And so, not even just him, but Professor York was another one that he got a lot of his teachings from as well too. And I don't.
Now, we are all aware that Nature Boy utilized different teachings he found on Google from multiple teachers and spiritual leaders and claimed them as his own. So I'm just a little surprised that Pice is acting like that's a shocker to him. It shouldn't be.
Know if or not. I don't know if you knew that or not. We are sister. We're doing that now. Um,
I just came up
he
with
was
a
another one.
whole fucking I just put a whole fucking I just connected a dot just now that even is more fucked up than I even like. Oh my god! But that's a whole. That's I'll say that for the next part. You feel me? That's crazy what you just told me. That makes a lot of sense. Which is, but really is fucked up though. I'll tell you why in the next in part two. But that's crazy.
Right. So there's a lot of things that we're gonna piece together and give the audience a lot of aha moments because I believe that they
Mm-hmm.
deserve that. So many people that have so many different
Absolutely.
questions, and because he has lived his full life on the internet along with you guys, there's a lot of unanswered questions. You know.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying this video. If you can, please give me a like, drop me a comment. Replay gang, you know I love the replay gang. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm trying to get this into the suggested videos.
You know what I mean?
Hella,
And so,
hella.
right. And I believe, when we do these interviews with you, Solar, even when Velvet did her interview, everybody, you know, we can all go back and look at it and put a lot of the pieces together. Well, none of us know your niece, and in Charlie's life, they said you was raped. Who said I was raped? Nobody even knows my real name or knows who I am. So that was a lie. I've never been raped. That's number. Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. When I was 17 years old, I was raped, but nobody on this app knows that.
Hey, y'all, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. But what? This is what I hate about Biko. There's so many easy distractions. Like, she needs to stay focused on the interview and asking him these questions.
So yes, I was raped when I was 17 years old, and my niece. I'm not telling you guys who my niece is because it trails back to this app, and I don't want you guys harassing her. There's a lot of people that I'm associated with and are related to on this app. You guys will never, because you'll never know. We do not want anybody to know because it's none of your business. That's our personal business, and we can have our personal business to ourselves. Period. ID number. So yeah, but I don't have a problem with saying I was raped at 17. Anything that you're throwing up, or asking me, honey, my life is not a secret. I'm an ex-police officer as well. Anything that I have to say, I'll say it. I'm not one of those people who are ashamed or hiding underneath the rock, baby. I'm right here in living color, right in your face. Okay, so if you want me to do an interview, I can do an interview as well and have somebody interview me. So moving right along, you guys. Hey, Shakur, moving right along. Moving right along. I don't want to go into the rape charges right now. What I do want to go into, the men. I want to talk about the men. And the reason why I want to
All
talk
right,
about the men, I'm going to leave the women for later. But
all right.
there's a video in particular. Musa said that, and this came out of Musa's mouth, it's on YouTube, that he sucked Eligio's penis. Did you know anything about that?
What? Ain't no goddamn way, boy. Hell no. Hell no, I know that. What? That's crazy to me. I'm only laughing because that's like shocking. Wow. Hell no. He said this on YouTube? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
When the fuck did he say this on YouTube? Like last year?
Yeah. No. What month are
Like
we
when he
in?
left?
The
You
end of
talking
last year. The end of last year. It was around the time that I interviewed him. Mm-hmm.
like what? Like December or something?
I don't know. I have to go back and look. I'm not for sure.
That's crazy. Nah, nah. I never he see it took him like what does he
Mm-hmm.
what Alihi Ho got locked up like March or something like that. It's like March, April, May, June, July. He waited to tell y'all, nigga, that many. I didn't know. I didn't. Hell no, I ain't know that. What?
Hold on a minute. Kiera, my last name isn't Warren. My last name is Meadows. I can pull up my ID. My last name is Meadows.
That's yeah. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I have a problem. Like I
Why
said,
you?
I'm not worried about Big O or social media. Okay. Go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, I had no clue. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. He said that out loud. Out loud. He sure did.
Nah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why people think other shit now because of shit like that. But nah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he said that. Been a lot of things as far as dealing with the men, and me and you discussed that as well. Do you feel like he had any personal relationships with any of the men that were beyond just a brother bond?
Shit, I don't fucking know now, cause obviously, like I said, like even I said this earlier in the fucking live. I was like, even if you look at me in the fucking like videos, I'd be like oblivious. I'd be trying to process and calculate shit. I'd be trying to just like y'all be trying to put puzzle pieces together and see what fuck really going on. Nigga, it was like that there because he was so deceptive. I had no fucking idea this shit was happening under my own fucking roof. Like, I didn't know none of that shit was happening. So it's like, I don't know. At this point, it could have been. At this point, what you just told me, like, it's possible 18. Uh-huh.
Damn. So damn. Now I think to myself, like, if y'all all sat down together and put the puzzle pieces together, what would you guys come up with?
Shit, if I were to conclude some shit, man, I don't think but then again, I don't know because I would have said the same thing. Like if you didn't tell me what you just told me about Musa, I would have never been like I would have been like hell no, just like I was about to say with Aaron, just like I was about to say with Courtney, just like I was about to say with Loyal. I was about to say nah, none of them. But if you would have told me that, I would have said the same thing about Musa. I'm like hell no. So I don't
What about
know.
what about Boomy?
Boomy, you talking about hell no, this nigga hated this nigga. Let me tell you something about Boomy, man. Boomy, him, Caliber, man. We used to when I tell you, I used to like. You remember when I was telling you early? Me and Caliber walked out and shit. We was like, what the fuck? We be chopping it up. We be like breaking shit down. We be trying to put shit together for our damn selves. Like he was like that. He was kind of one of those characters that was there that was really trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. Like some bullshit will happen. He'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, man, he'd be talking to Caliber and shit. I'll be right there because Caliber, my man, type shit. Like I'm with my bro, so it's like I'm hearing all the shit that they talk about and everything. So it's like to the point where niggas was like hating on Boomy and Caliber. Niggas was like,
Damn. Okay, so
This is for fair use.
you said you didn't know about any of the men. So when the trans woman was brought in, I wouldn't say
yeah,
the trans woman. I would say the trans.
her or her. Just say when she was brought in.
Yeah, when she was brought in, were you shocked at that whole situation? Because I know Janae said
Man,
she was
no,
upstairs asleep. He said she was shocked.
no, I wasn't shocked. Hell no. Based off the things that he said on a consistent basis ever since he was like on the fucking internet. He's been saying he was attracted to transsexuals. Been like been on
Mm-hmm.
that. Ben said that.
Okay. Were you when you found out that the other men partook in the activities? Were you shocked?
Man, listen,
Be honest.
hell no, I wasn't shocked. Fuck no, like what? Cause you gotta think about this shit, man. Like the way I really should save this for like what I was about to say. I should really save it for
Yeah.
part
Well,
two.
we can save it. We can save it. Let's
But
save it.
like,
But
yeah,
answer is
cause
no.
I
You
could
weren't
tell you
shocked.
easily why I wasn't shocked, but like that would have to go into Leaky Ho's mind, and that I'm gonna save that for a whole nother
Yeah,
time.
we'll save that. We're gonna save that for later.
I'm going to give her flowers for doing this interview, but I will say that she's allowed him and will allow him to bypass questions by saying, oh man, I'll tell you later, oh man, and they never get back to it.
There we go. So I'm
But
gonna just
to
ask you a
answer
few
that,
more
I'll say that.
questions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just ask a few more questions because in all we're gonna do a full exclusive interview. And to the comments, this interview is not about me, but if anybody wants to interview me, hit me up. We can work it out. I don't have a problem with it, honey. I'll tell you. Shit, I love to talk about my life because I'm a survivor, baby. I done came a long way. And I know I got some things that'll shock people as well. So, anyways, moving right along, this is not about me. I'm gonna ask you just a few more questions. And for
Hmm.
those of you that want to get in on the exclusive interview with AP, hit Miss Cherry up here on Big O, or you can hit me up on my IG page, Facebook page, whatever page you have available. You can shoot it. It's a $10 CA or a 2,000 bean drop. Okay.
For anybody that's not familiar with the Bigo app, basically, whenever someone does this CA, they say the Cash App or they say drop beans, that's basically them getting the donations in order to conduct the interview. And a portion of that goes to the person being interviewed. So this tells me that Pice, aka Armand Palmer, was actually paid for this interview.
So let's give them. Let me see. What shall we dabble? We done dibble dabbled here and there. Let's give them a little bit. Okay, we're gonna give them a little bit of this. Now these are yes and no answers. We do not want to go. I do not want you to go into detail.
All right, bet.
Did you know that the discovery was available online? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Did you know that? Let me see. Did you know?
Now, I like the yes or no questioning. However, I'm thinking that she was not really prepared because it sounds like she's trying to figure out what the next question will be. She does ultimately pull it together and ask him a yes or no question. I just wanted to interject and say that because that's how I felt. What do you guys think?
Okay, let me. I don't want to word it like that. I'm gonna reword my question. Did at any time you think that it was a plot and a plan against Deligio uh, with the court case? Did you think that was a plot and a
Yes.
plan
Yes.
to take him down?
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
elaborate. Don't elaborate.
Y'all, is Pice trying to say that Nature Boy, aka Eligio Bishop, aka Three God, was set up? Is that what he's thinking or saying?
I
I'm
told
not.
y'all
I'm
so.
not. Yes, though.
And I got one other question.
Hey,
Was
yo, you
there a
stupid.
plan when you guys were all in Pennsylvania? Y'all ready for this? When you guys were all in Pennsylvania at Gaggett's house, was there a plan to leave at that point in time?
Yes.
Okay, don't you say nothing else.
All right, y'all. So there's three parts to this interview. We're about to hear part two. Please listen very close to how he responds to her questions as he says he's going to go into detail.
Part interview. Okay, we're good. Great. This
I'm
is
gonna
going
make
to be a
sure I
two-part
dive
interview.
deep.
Say that again, Pice. What did you say, honey?
I didn't mean to cut you off. I said I'm gonna make sure I dive deep. I'm gonna try to answer the questions as best as I
See?
possibly can, like in detail.
Yeah. I want you and me to get. Let's start here. Let's take everybody take off your shoes, relax and get comfortable. I want everybody to understand that this is a young man who joined a cult at the age of 18, you guys. And I don't take this lightly and I don't take it for a joke. There's a lot of people that I've seen on the internet that have taken their life as a joke. World News, he's taken their life as a joke. He's laughed about it. He calls it reporting and roasting, in which I don't find it funny when you see our young men and women out here trying to find a way in life and they run into people like Mr. Bishop. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, that's why I'm taking the liberty of doing these interviews. Now, with this interview is going to be a little different. Miss Cherry is going to do this interview a little different. And I'm telling you, this is going to get really close and personal. Because I have children this young man's age, and I want to really understand why. That's one thing I want to understand is why. So with that being said, Pice, you decided to join Carbonation. At the time, was it called Carbonation?
Yeah, it was. It was definitely called carbonation. It was still named that. It wasn't melanation as it was previously known as. It was just renamed and rebranded. It was called carbonation when I joined them.
Okay. Now, at the time you joined, what first of all, tell us what type of family do you come from?
I come from South Carolina. I come from a both parents home up until a certain age. Military, dad was in the army. Medical field, mom was in the medical field. Still is in the medical field. Uh, yeah, I had a brother, had a sister. I'm the youngest of the three. Um, yeah, I come from a very loving background. Like I went to an art school uh up until like I was like 10 or something like that. So like everything from gymnastics to yoga to keyboard classes to acting, theater, musicals. like all different type of stuff I was into as a child. You know what I mean? Dancing. It was like I really did have a bad childhood up until like my parents divorced and stuff like that. When they divorced, that's when a nigga went to the hood and all that type of shit and had to go through some more shit. But other than that, it was like it was healthy. I feel like the whole process was like healthy looking at it in hindsight because a lot of wisdom came from it. As far as like after my parents divorced and what I went through and everything like that, moving around and stuff, all that type of shit. Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I muted myself. What type of relationship did you have with your siblings?
Oh, a very good one. Siblings fight sometimes. Like me and my brother used to fight sometimes, shit like that. But like other than that, absolutely amazing. Like my sister is my best friend. You know what
Wow. So, first of all, what was your first, you know, interaction with spirituality? Because you were drawn to, well, were you drawn to Eliseo Bishop because of spirituality? And when was your first interaction with spirituality yourself? Like, when did you
But
first
like
come?
I was always into like spirituality, even when I was young. I don't know. My spirit is just. I don't know. I think my mom told me I got my granddad's spirit. So like I've been on my spiritual shit. Like I remember sitting in like fourth grade, like third grade, like about to take a test, and I'm over here in my head thinking like, what the fuck happens after we die? Like literally, like I remember when I turned 4 years old and I moved and I was a little bit more conscious. I was like, how am I more conscious? Like I was always just like a question asking type of individual. Like always, I was like having deep thoughts about spirituality at a young age. Like if I die, is it just blackness? Like, what happens to me? You know what I mean? Like, what would happen to me? I'm sitting there in class thinking that, or like I said, when I turned 4, I was like, how am I more conscious right now? This doesn't make no sense. Like, how am I able to think inside of my mind now? Like, that doesn't make no sense. I was not even able to do that like a year ago or some change. Like, this is way more. I'm in reality a lot more. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck I was always like just curious about the mind. You know what I mean? Ever since I was young, I had like spiritual experiences too, like um shadow figures and all that type of shit. Figured out pretty much what that was. Like your mind can pretty much come up with images and stuff like that if you sleep, or like sleep paralysis, like all different type of little stuff. Like, but I was always into like the positivity of spirituality and like the growth within it.
Okay, that was a very good answer. So, searching for spirituality, is that when you started watching videos and so forth and so on?
Yeah,
And
because
then
it
you,
was like, yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Finish your question. I'm sorry.
I wanted to know, is that when you found Eliseo Bishop?
Yeah, watching videos, stuff like that.
Okay.
Watch
And
hella spiritual videos.
who else did you watch besides Eliseo?
I watched Young Pharaoh. I watched Brother Polite. I watched who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Mad different spiritual teachers. I even ran into what's his face at one point in my life. What's his name? What is that dude's name? Infinite Waters. Goddamn, I watched Infinite Waters. I watched who else? Doctor said before a little bit. Well, not like deeply or anything like that, but like I came across Dr. Sebi. Who else? It's a lot of different people. It was just like some of them didn't weren't really popular. It wasn't really about popularity for me. It was just about different perspectives on life, like Chinese culture, Japanese culture, Buddhism, Christianity, and stuff.
Okay. When was the first video that you can remember that you seen of Eliseo
Now,
Bishop that caught your eye?
well, it was two different videos. I actually mentioned it in my first interview with you. It was the store one, the GMO one, and the never heard before information. And honestly, I think those are his two most popular videos. I think I got like a million views, if not
Wow.
more by that.
Okay. And in looking at those videos, when did you decide to reach out to him?
Well, I didn't even know he was on IG at one point, and then because I graduated high school early, so I was just working and doing me, and I eventually don't really remember how, but figured out he was on IG. I was like, okay, cool. Watching his IG videos and stuff like that, because I already planned to like at least try the lifestyle out myself. Like I plan on going to what is it called, Costa Rica, like the capital, everything like that experience, living closer to the equator and having that type of a lifestyle as far as like being more closer to nature, being able to interact with it on like a freer level outside of the country because it's just different. It's a whole nother environment that's a lot more healthier for humans and whatnot. But I reached out. I didn't reach out. I just joined the live and then like I got invited into the queue or whatnot and then yeah, he was like, oh word, whoop de woo, who are you? Whoop de woo. I'm like, yeah, I'm Pice, whoop, yada yada yada. I'm rapping, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And it's like he was like, oh, you should come join type shit. You can always come to Mexico if you would like. And at the time, I was surprised. I was like, oh, word, that'll be good for me because, like, I would have to worry about financing myself and stuff like that. It would all be
Who
taken care
invited?
of and shit like that. You said
Oh,
what?
okay. Who actually invited you?
What's the name? Alijo.
Oh, Alihio invited you himself.
Yeah, Ali. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Alijo. He invited me himself.
Wow. And so, upon a
So Nature Boy invited him to join the cult, and he was happy to do so because he wouldn't have to finance himself to actually live the lifestyle that they were already living. Bad idea, Pice. Of course, we all know hindsight is 2020, so hopefully he's learned from the experience and does more investigation before he goes off and joins a cult of people just because they can help him finance the lifestyle he wants. It's better to finance it yourself.
rival, did he do you like he did everybody else? Did he take your ID, your passport, and everything?
No, I kept my IDs. I never really, I don't, no one ever really gave up their passport. Maybe the women did or something like that, but I don't believe none of all the guys had the shit. So he never took my shit. The most he took was some pesos, some pesos and like a bank card that had nothing on it. Like I was already like, I'm not giving you money. I am offering my talents. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Okay, and so let's get dark really quick. Let's because I know everybody knows about, a lot about how you joined and so forth, and I don't want to really just go over that too much. When did you start noticing um when did you start noticing the toxic behavior that Mr. Bishop displayed?
I didn't really. Well, the first time I seen toxicity, I didn't know it was toxicity. I thought it was like something that they were going through, like some normal beef or something like that. But like maybe, oh shit,
Okay.
my bad. One of my friends hit me.
Make sure you put your phone on do not disturb. Pies, come out the blind for it. It's gonna make you go out, baby.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I'm back. But
Okay, okay.
okay.
Go ahead.
First time I noticed toxicity, I didn't know it was toxicity. Like I thought it was regular little relationship beef, but it was going through something with Velvet. When not probably like 4 or 5 days of me being there, she was trying to leave and everything. He was like, "Oh, whoop de whoop, uh,
Walk us through
prepare
that.
yourself."
Walk us through that
Okay, so
experience.
I got there. Okay, so boom,
Yes.
I flew
Yes.
in and everything, right? I flew into Mexico City, then I flew to Villahermosa. From Mexico City to Villahermosa, Aya was on that flight. I had no clue until like we got right before we about to get on the flight. She like approached me and was like, "Hey, are you Pies?" I was like, "Oh yeah, whoop de woo," and everything. So then we got there in Villahermosa, got off the airport. Rambo, Key, I say Key, that's his name. Yeah, Rambo and Flo, whatever. I don't know his name if it was Key or Flo, but Flo and Rambo picked me up, and he was there. Eligio was there too, but he was like in a car or something. And then we drove to the site in Palenque, and then when we Palenque, got out the car and everything. Everybody was lined up, all militantly and everything like that. Welcome, 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 welcome. And then I started helping out, putting up tents and stuff like that while the meals and stuff were being prepared for that afternoon. So after we got done setting up the tents and everything like that, that's when there was more people there too that had arrived with me, some females, and we were just introducing ourselves and whatnot and what we have to offer and things of that nature and our astrology and all that type of stuff. And yeah, we're just getting to know each other a little bit more. And it was just regular. It was just like regular. Everybody was like, "Whoop de whoop, nice to meet you." I think I went to the studio that day too, but like everything was cool. Everything was fine. Everything was normal, right? Maybe 4 or 5 days, maybe even three, perhaps. That's when like I said, I said in my other interview, I mentioned that he really did stay off in his own quarters, like his own areas and stuff like that, until it was like time to get online and teach, or like we were having like a family meeting or something like that. But like other than that, it was literally he was off. So I didn't know what the fuck was going on when it did pop off. So long story short, shit popped off, right? And it's just like I didn't know what was going on. Like the situation was so like brief. Like I was so like oblivious to like their whole relationship to the point where it was like, oh, they must just be going through something as a couple. And basically, she was just trying to go and everything. He was just upset. I can understand why and everything, but it was just like
Why was
now
he
I have to
upset?
keep her.
What happened? Explain to us what happened.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I really don't know what happened. Like I was 4 days. I was there for 4 days. You know what I mean? I'm still new and fresh. Only thing that
Right.
I can tell from what I observed is like when a family meeting was called that night, it was like she was trying to go. Velvet was trying to go, and she was upset and everything like that. And then it was just like
Mm.
she got to the airport or something like that. But I guess she changed her mind and she came back. Like maybe 2 weeks later, maybe something similar happened. Another family meeting or one. I'm like, oh, they probably just have like a one of those type of relationships where it's like it's hard for them to express their emotions to each other and whatnot. They don't know how to like deal with it properly. But like other than that, I didn't see an issue because I come from like certain areas in life. Like back when I moved, like I seen shit like that before. Like it was normal. Like you know what I mean? So like to me, it was normal. Like oh whatever. Not knowing the whole full situation of like the gas, like how was she been going through for years before I even got there. You know what I mean? So she was probably fed up. Now looking back in hindsight, that was the first bit of toxicity I had noticed. You know what I mean?
Okay. So were they actually fist fighting at that moment, or they were just arguing?
Just arguing, just arguing.
Okay. Okay. And then, so things were pretty normal up until what point? When did the abuse start? When did the abuse start? When did you start seeing him get angry? When was the first? Not. Let me rephrase that question. When was the first
The
time you
first
seen him
time,
get angry enough to strike somebody?
enough to strike 6 months in, probably 6, 7 months in, it was like when Velvet was trying to leave. This time she was serious, and I guess he was like real upset. Like real, I was like doing music or something in my tent. And I just like heard some shit over the walkie, and like by the time I got to the actual like house, I don't know if y'all remember how it was set up, but like it was like tents outside, and then it was a big like it was some acres or whatever. So like you had to travel a little bit to get to the house or whatever. Like it wasn't just like it was right there. Like no, you could be a little far out. I was far out. I like to stay to myself. But anyways, I heard something over the walkie. I'm like, okay, what's going on? I go, and that's the whole infamous video of him hitting her or something. I never really watched the video. I didn't even see what happened, but I'm pretty sure he hit her or she hit him or something like that with the baby with Eliana in somebody's hands. I don't know if he did it or if she, but all this is what I do know for a fact.
Pause.
When I
Pause.
got there, yeah,
Wait ahead, AP. Continue. I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead. Continue.
you completely fine. I understand. You trying to make sure we're no creepy motherfucking lurkers.
Yes. Come on, AP. Let's get it, baby.
All right, so like, where was I at? Yo, I was telling you what I can say for a fact is once I got there, shit was already heated. The situation already escalated, and by the time I got there, it was like me. I think Pure was there, a light skinned dude. I think, but I'm definitely sure I went up there. He was like, go upstairs, check on her or whatnot. So I went upstairs and checked on her. She was just cutting her hair off. She was like going crazy, like,
Now, I know some of y'all remember what Pice is referring to. That's that situation where they were in Palenque, Mexico, and Nature Boy, aka Eligio Bishop, aka Three God, got in his feelings because he thought Velvet was trying to get with Aaron for some unknown reason. He was accusing her of wanting to be with Aaron, and Velvet got very upset. So now we know, according to Pice, she cut her hair. There was rumor that he cut off her hair, but apparently she did it herself.
mad, like, hysteriously, like, mad hysterical. Like, I tried to get scissors from her, like, yo, you sure you wanna? I backed up a little bit, like, hey, look, I know you mad, but like, you gonna have to calm down with them scissors. Like, she hitting the door, trying to explain to me what the fuck was going on. Like, how the fuck? He boom, 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 all this other shit, hitting the door with scissors in hand,
What's she
proceeding to
mad about?
chop off her hair.
What was
She
she
was mad about,
saying? How he what? He was
okay, so
cheating?
like, yeah, the polygamy and all that shit.
Oh.
She was mad about the polygamy, but I'm sure it was probably a lot deeper than that. Obviously, it was more psychological. It was like, it was probably she was probably a lot more than just the polygamy, to be honest. She was probably going through, I'm sure, psychological abuse. Like, I'm sure gap, all of those things, love bombing and everything else. So like, I'm sure she was already fed up about his behavior and how he is as an individual. By the time that she started cutting off her hair and shit, like, she was probably already mad as shit at him. But anyways, I went up there and she was like, I went up the stairs, I hit a left, I went inside their little upstairs quarters, hit another left, there's her bathroom, and she's in the bathroom in front of the mirror, hysterically chopping off her wig locks or her dreads or whatever, her freeform locks. And while she had these
Hmm.
big ass scissors in her hand, and she was just mad, fucking like angry, like super, like, you know how women get when they extra upset, like, yeah, don't play, y'all know how they get, like, loud, don't really care, like, she got scissors in her hand, swinging it everywhere, like, mad,
Wow.
eyes about to pop out her head, like, real upset about the situation. I'm just trying to make like, hey yo, you put the scissors down, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what's on my mind. I'm like, hey yo, can you put the I'm gonna need you to put them down real quick, cause like, this is not, I don't know what you about to do with them scissors and whatnot. So anyways, everybody come upstairs. Well, no, that's a whole different one. That's another one. That was right before we got down left, I think, or right before she left. But anyways, everything calmed down, and then I think he went live that day or the next day or something like that, explaining the situation. And that's around the time she was trying to leave and everything like that. So I think that's when she actually did leave. But before that, another situation popped off where they actually fought, like, they actually straight up, like, they straight up fought. And it was like, damn, what the fuck? And it's like, I've seen that too in the hood. I've saw at this point, I'm like, damn, y'all got a relationship like this. This is crazy. Me not like knowing how he actually is. I'm thinking they really like, they don't know how to properly evaluate their emotions for each other and whatnot. They're kind of like emotional immature a little bit.
Okay. Ooh, that was traumatic. So you watched that go down. Now at the time, who was all there in the
Uh,
tribe at the time? I know it was True. Name the
it
people
was
that were in the tribe at that time.
it was me, Aaron. Who else was there? I don't know Flo and Key's real name. I believe they were there too, but they were there. Grace, I
Go.
believe is her name. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's the one that's married or with Rambo or whatever. That
Right.
got the key. Is in her.
Serenity.
I believe I could be wrong about this one, but his woman was there. What's her name? Vibes or Water, whatever her name was. Her. She was there. Who else? I said Aaron, me, Musa, Solar, of course. Uh, I don't know if Ish was there yet. Caliber. I don't know if Cali was there yet. But
Tori.
you said what?
Tori. Joy.
Oh, she might have been there too. See, you bringing me back. Like, yeah, she might have been there too for real, for real. But the main people, the ones everybody
Solar
know, was definitely
wasn't there yet.
who.
Solar.
Yeah. So Solar, Musa, Aaron, me, T, Rambo, Grace, Flo. I mean, what's that? His woman, whatever her name was. Um,
Mhm.
and then I think I'm there. I
Royal.
think that was. No, I don't think he was there yet. No, he wasn't there yet.
What about
See, I don't
how
know. I'm
how
not too sure. He could have been.
him? What's his
Oh,
name?
Tron. Yeah, that's his name. Tron.
Tron.
Almost forgot. I almost forgot about Tron. Yeah, Tron was there, most definitely.
Okay. So that was the first instance you seen. Now, was he drinking at that time, or was he on any drugs at that time?
He always been drinking wine. Wine. He
Do
was a
you think he
terrible
was an
boy.
alcoholic?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so you definitely was he
Definitely
on
was an
any type
alcoholic.
of drug at the time?
No, he was very what's the word I'm looking for? Like rigorous or like disciplined are two words I could think of when it came to like weed, when it came to anything but wine.
Mm, okay.
Yep.
Now, while the aggression and the violence were taking place, were you guys also having orgies at that time?
In terms of like who the women probably, I'm sure they was probably do whatever they was doing. That's a question for them. I wasn't present for none of that.
Well, let me tell you, I have a video. I have
Hmm.
videos nobody knows that I have. But since we're doing an intimate video interview, I'm going to bring it up. I have a video.
Okay.
It's a very short clip, and everybody's on pallets, but they're interacting sexually. They're naked and they're interacting sexually with other people. Everybody's and this was, I believe, this was when you guys were in Honduras. It may not have been Honduras. Let me think.
Is it before or after Mexico?
I want to say it was after Mexico. This is when Joy was trying to leave. This is just before Joy was trying to leave.
You see me in the video fucking somebody?
You were there because at the time you were with Malia.
You see me fucking Belia or some shit like that?
No,
Because
I
that
didn't see
never.
you fucking Malia. Well, see, I ain't got to that yet. I didn't see you fucking Malia. I, the video is pixelated, but I did see. I'm gonna tell you who I seen. I seen
Okay.
Sheba on the floor with Nature Boy. Sheba was on one side, Nature Boy was in the middle, and Velvet was on the other side. I seen Aya, but Aya was with somebody else. She was on her little pallet over with somebody else naked. Caliber was definitely there. I believe he was with Efro at that time. It was so
They might
many
have been
people
doing.
who are
Hey,
fucking.
look, I'll tell you what. They, I don't know if everybody was fucking or no shit like that, but I never participated. If they was, I ain't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? That's just some weirdo shit.
So maybe it was just before you got there because right after that, that's when Joy or Tori, that's when she wanted to leave and Tron was chased her down and was holding her. It was maybe a few days before that.
Damn, I don't even remember that shit. I think I don't even remember that shit. Nah, hell no, no. I'll say that. No,
So
they
maybe you
probably was
weren't there
doing
at
some
that
shit.
time.
They was probably doing some shit.
Okay. So, and this
Cause we
was
slept in
recorded.
Palace. Yeah, we've been in Palace plenty of times. Like as a family, like in Panama, we all watch movies together or shit like that. We be on our little palace and everything. Everybody be there watching movies and shit like that. You know. So it's like
Okay.
I really, in all honesty, don't I really don't think that that's impossible. Like them niggas could have been fucking like, you know what I'm saying? Like real shit.
Okay. Okay. So
But
you
it's
didn't
not like
experience.
brother. Yeah, it's not like yeah, hell no. It wasn't hell no.
Okay. So let's go into this while we're on the subject. Now, you and Malia were in a relationship at one point in time, right?
Yeah, in Panama and then in
Okay. And
Atlanta.
this was in
So
Panama.
Panama. Hmm.
Okay. So Panama was that big house with the backyard and all the fruit trees and everything in the tent that was in the backyard where Mama Dia passed away.
No, that was Mexico.
That was Mexico. Okay. That's where I'm getting mixed up at. Okay.
Yeah, that was Mexico. Yeah, Panama was like the mansion type house. Like if you ever seen the music video
Yes.
Deity, that one where I was like activated dormant genes, I'm a mortal G.O.D. bro deity. That one right there, I was like, that was Panama. If I don't know if you remember the video, it was like a mansion on top of a mountain,
Okay.
and that was Panama. I was with her
That
in
was
Panama. That was when Velvet came back. He was saying like, "Oh, I'm done with polygamy," just to get her back, and then try to reel all the women back in. But what happened was he split all the women up and like was like, you hold her down, whoop de woo, and all this type of shit. Like y'all be together, like making it seem like he's changing, like I'm good, like whoop de woo, like like how he manipulates shit. But anyways, he manipulated the situation to where he quote unquote gave the women to us or whatnot or whatever you want to fucking call it. But it was all an act of manipulation just to get Velvet back. So that's how we got together. And
wow.
that was right after Sunny had left and that whole situation popped off with the waterfall and all that shit. Like you can't go, you're not in tune and all this other shit, which in all actuality, again, another manipulative move was him just mad because he just couldn't fuck my baby mama. Like that's all that was. Like he been trying to get on her, but she been was like dodging this nigga. So I guess this nigga was fed up. You know what I mean? So like that was that whole situation.
Y'all, I'm just amazed at how compliant all of these ex cult members were, because I would have went off on Nature Boy. I couldn't have been a part of carbonation. It would have been a problem if he would have told me that I needed to leave my man and be with him. It would have been on and popping.
About her leaving, and then Velvet had came back and he gave the women away, and that's when me and Malia first got together. And then we got raided, and he left. He got deported or locked up or some shit, and like we were still in Panama. So yeah,
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna stay on Malia, but then I want to go back retro back to Sunny. Let's stay with Malia first, really quick. Now, you and Malia, did you ever have real feelings for Malia?
yeah. What point? Because like when my baby mama left, it was just like obviously that's a hurtful situation, but like I was accepting it for what it was. Because like outside of the manipulation of a Lee Ji Ho, um, we were already having our own issues and stuff like that. Many red flags, and like looking back in hindsight, I would never like participate in a relationship with her. But I was hurt. So then when Malik came along, I was just explaining to like her that like what I'm going through. Like this is all fresh. I'm still like this is a fresh feeling of hurt. You know what I mean? So when I told her that and everything, I guess we bonded a little bit or whatever. But like, because she was going through her own situation with her son and everything like that, and I kind of was going through a similar situation. So it was
Did y'all hear that? Malia, aka Tanisha, really was thinking about her son and the loss of her son while she was in Palenque, Mexico. That is so sad. I wonder if she thinks about her son today.
like, I don't know, like niggas connected on that a little bit, and like we had similar, we were compatible as far as astrology, like, and outside of astrology too. It was just like we both have like a lot of Pisces energy and stuff like that, but we meshed well, like we connected well and whatnot, and feelings were developed. But like, I don't know, I kind of like was numb to like those feelings because everything else, like I really wasn't paying attention to those feelings like that. Because it was like I never planned to get with her, nothing like that. It kind of just happened. So like, once feelings were developed and like everything that happened, they were like they went away. But they like, I don't know what to say. Like
Mhm.
Now, we all remember, well, I remember when Nature Boy confronted Pice for having feelings for Malia and told him that he was wrong for having those feelings because he just wanted him to hold Malia while he manipulated Velvet back into the cult.
they were numbed. Like that's the best way to put it. Like those feelings were numbed. You know what I mean?
Wow. And is that because he kept taking her from you and giving her back?
Yeah, and it was just like I'm good. By the time like the second time that shit happened, like in Atlanta, I was like over it. You know what I mean? Like I'm over
Right. Okay. And so, Sunny, how did you feel about Sunny Pice?
in all actuality, like I was like, in terms of like just in general or like after the fact.
in general?
What you mean? That was what baby.
Like when you,
I love
I
baby.
know, but I want you to explain that's how you got to take us on the ride, baby. We're here for the ride.
All right,
So
so
I want
like
to tell us
it was
how you
probably
felt
six
about
months in. It was like 6 months in, and she reached out to me off of me roasting young Pharaoh. I was telling young Pharaoh like, bro, why are you charging people for information that they can get online, like or whatever? And I guess she was attracted to that and everything, so she reached out to me. And when she reached out to me, she was texting and everything like that. She was like from where she was from and everything. She was telling me. And at that time, I was really like trying to push her away. I was like, all right, well, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I really was not focused on women. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, was not focused on women at all. I was really focused on reason. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, if you trying to come, just here's what's the name's number if you want to hit him up and everything like that. And I guess she hit him up, and the next morning I was doing what I do, and he hit me up like, hey yo, this your shorty, da da da, like he trying to come be with you and whoop de woo. I was like, all right, boom, cool. Then I started talking to her and stuff like that, and then eventually she came. Now once she came, more feelings were developed and things like that. And yeah, she ended up getting pregnant. So that solidified our relationship even more. But like over time, she just, and at that point, fully in love, fully all of that stuff, like all of that. So honeymoon stage,
it.
uh, all of that type shit. So like eventually though, not only because of things that I personally seen within her, but like the manipulation, it was just kind of like I was just kind of slowly and slowly being more like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you always seem to have, and I don't want to talk about her badly too much because she's the mother of my son, but I will say that like she has her own issues and shit like that. Like, I still
Grown dating.
that like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So like,
Now, y'all know that Nature Boy, aka Eligio Bishop, aka Three God, did not want those two together once she got pregnant. He started pressing her about knowing the knowledge and asking her why she was there, even trying to introduce a man into her and Pice's relationship, claiming that Pice would enjoy a man. And Pice went along with it too. I guess he was trolling.
yeah.
I get it. I get it. Okay, so Sunflower asks, how did you feel about Nature Boy putting a wedge between you and Sunny? It was very obvious when it happened.
Okay, this is the part that no one knows. I don't know if I hide it well or I don't know if people don't listen, but this is probably my like 10th time over like the years explaining this shit. I even just said it now. Like we
Mm,
have our own issues outside of him. You know what I mean? So,
mm.
so there was already
Right, I
questions.
get it.
You get what I'm saying? So like him doing his
You
little
didn't cause.
manipulation and all that shit was kind of like kind of null and void because eventually that shit was gonna happen anyway.
Mm, gotcha. So when he made some Sunny jump off the rope into the water at 8 months pregnant, how did you feel about that?
Well, one, I seen pregnant women jump off a cliff and happily do it excitedly. So it wasn't really like it's just a preference thing. That whole shit was blown out of proportion. Like that whole situation was blown out of proportion. I seen people that couldn't swim jump and get saved. Like people's ready. Like okay, like four people get in the water just in case anything happens. You know what I mean? So like I really was just like, okay, I understand why you're not jumping because you can't swim and you're afraid to and everything like that. Okay,
Right.
don't jump. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at her like I'm not about to like be like, oh, jump or like do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to jump if you feel like I mean, in that moment, she was looking for me to be like to reassure her and stuff like that. But the only thing I had to say was, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't feel like jumping, don't jump. You know what I mean? Like, don't do it. So like when we got back to the house and everything like that, honestly, like I said, it was y'all think it's about the waterfall. Y'all think, oh my God, he tried to make a pregnant woman jump. There's videos, they might still be there of pregnant women jumping higher. This was not a big, this was not even a cliff or no shit like that. This was like
Mm.
one of those situations where it's like a tree and a tire in a river or so like a lake right there. Like one of those. It wasn't like motherfuckers was jumping off 15 goddamn feet or some shit like that. I seen people jump off like that type shit pregnant. specifically Mama Sheba, specifically Joy. So it's like I've seen people do that shit like excitingly ready and everything like that and come out completely fine. So I wasn't really tripping on the
Mm.
fact that she wanted to jump, like, and it wasn't, people blow shit out of proportion and everything like that. But like I said, in all actuality, what it really was, what y'all not paying attention to, or something that maybe y'all
Mhm.
oblivious to it, effect, or not really peeping, putting together, that whole situation was the perfect opportunity for him to try to get her up out of there. So
Because he didn't want you being close to her.
out of his own insecurities, because he probably felt like she belonged to him for his little sick, twisted ways, because she's
Mm-hmm.
there and he's the Messiah, and he's God, and all this other shit and all this other dumb shit. Like,
Right,
oh
right.
yeah, you know how he, like I said, he been trying to like get at her since Mexico or some shit. Like, oh, you're shorty looking at me. Da, 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 what's going on? We got to have a meeting.
Now, this should come as no surprise to anyone who's listening to this. We all know Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, expects that all the women are there for him, all the women want to be with him, and all the women are attracted to him, and he has to sleep with every single woman that joins that tribe.
Da, 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 da. Like all that type shit. Like, nigga was just insecure. Still is stupid.
He's always been insecure. Absolutely. Okay, so now, were you around when Mama Dia passed away?
Nah, I joined like right after that whole situation, maybe like a month or like something like that, maybe 2 months even.
Did, now, I want to ask you an honest question. Do you believe Nature Boy had anything to do with Mama Dia passing away?
Well, now I think that he was. I just think he didn't give a fuck. That's what I think it was. I think he just did not give a fuck. I think
Give a
that
fuck.
about her, about taking her medicine or whatnot. I think he just didn't give a fuck. Like, I think that it was her decision. I'm sure if he was, but then again, I can't trust shit he say. But like from what everyone else has said though, like she was totally. But they could have been lying. I don't know. I was there, but like from what everyone has said, according to them, it was like everyone was aware of her heart condition. Everyone was aware that she was like, I'm not trying to take that medicine because I'm out here
Wait
already.
a minute. Say that one more time. You said everybody was aware of her heart condition?
I'm pretty sure everyone was aware of her heart condition. Like it was like a known thing. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
So I want you to stop right there. I did a pre-interview with Tron because I was going to interview Tron before he pulled out. And Tron told me he had no clue that the lady had a heart condition.
Well, there you go. Like maybe it was just wasn't there that dude. Like she only told him. That's the wrong person to tell because he probably didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But from what he
No,
said, I think
he said he wished he would have, but go ahead, love.
you said say that one more time, Cherry.
Tron said he wished he would have gave cared more because he would have made sure she got her medicine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know. I can't talk to the lady. She's deceased now. But like, I have no idea, man. Because from what he said, and I can't trust it. If he's the only, you got to think. If he's
Right
the only
today.
one that knew, if he's the only person that knew, and he's saying that like she was basically being like, no, I don't need this medicine. I've been on it for years. It actually causes more issues than it doesn't. That kind of makes sense to me because like medicine does do that to you. And at her
Hmm.
age, she was tired of it and maybe thought that the knowledge or like being in that environment would at least help the
For Nature Boy.
situation. Like, yeah, but like, see, the thing is, I can't trust that.
Right. I understand what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying. So, looking back, you said he just didn't give a fuck if she took the medicine. So, where was her medicine at? What did he do with her medicine? Where was it at? Do you know?
I was not there for the
I
situations.
know.
You see what I'm saying?
I,
So I don't know. I never asked that question. I never even thought about. I don't even know if she brought medicine with her. You know what I mean? I don't know if she brought her last
uh,
prescription with her or something like that. I don't know if she was like completely
right.
dubbed it before she got there. I don't know. I don't know if she was planning on ordering it and he was just like, "Fuck it" or something like that. I have no idea.
Wow. Okay, I get it. Because she had already passed away by the time you got there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, okay. So now we're up to speed. Sunny, she's left. Nature Boy is okay, so he hasn't been taking drugs at this time. as far as you knew. So
Yeah,
he was just drinking a lot, you said, and he definitely could have been an alcoholic. Okay, when did you
definitely.
see his anger and his aggression progress to instead of
Uh,
every once a week to every other day? You know, when did you see that in him? His demons come out more, as you guys say.
like motherfucking right after Mexico, so like it started in Mexico and it increased probably because after Mexico we went to where did we go after Mexico? We traveled through all of the different little countries, and then where did we land? Where did we stop at? I'm trying to think. What was after Mexico? Was it Nicaragua? Was Nicaragua after Mexico? Or was it? It was Nicaragua probably. I think it was Nicaragua. So like Nicaragua, he was just tripping. He was always tripping. Like the violent shit, he was tripping. Like angry, like being more trying to be more intimidating and shit like that to like the women and sometimes the men. But like the aggressive side of him was always there, but it increased probably like right when Velvet started leaving and all that type of stuff. I guess he was super upset about that and just couldn't get over it. So like plus probably everything that was going on, all the messages he was probably getting and how people perceived him and shit like that was probably getting to him too. So like I say, because you got to think everything was nice and smooth before that whole situation. Hello, you muted.
I said, okay. I said, right. I said, so now the lunatic is starting to come out. The lunatic that you guys didn't know that he had deep inside of him. The psychosis is starting to come out now at this point in
Yeah,
time. And what I was asking was, did you ever know? Did he ever talk about being a mental patient? Did he ever tell any of you guys, I used to be in, a mental hospital? Did any of you guys know that?
yeah. He did. He talked about it plenty of times. He talked about it on live. He talked about it behind the scenes and
Hmm.
everything like. But from what I heard, I really can't trust how long he was in there or what he was diagnosed with as well. So like what he said, according to him, was after he got out of prison when he was young, he was like 19. He went to a mental psych ward because he tried to commit suicide. So they had to, by procedure, immediately put him into the psych ward and be evaluated. At the time, I guess that's the laws. I don't know if it's still like that, but yeah, he went to there. He said for 2 years, and he said he was diagnosed with well,
Now, y'all, that sounds real suspect. How he spent 2 years in a mental hospital? 2 years for a suicide attempt? That's a long ass time for a suicide attempt.
was
Schizophrenia?
I really didn't forget, but I don't know. I really don't know. If, I think he was diagnosed with all of that shit. I don't know. Give a fuck what nobody talking about. I think that nigga had every one of them shits: PTSD, narcissism, fucking schizophrenia, bipolar, all of that. I think he had all of it. To be honest,
Personality disorders. He definitely had personality disorder.
yeah, he definitely had
Okay.
quite a few, I believe, and they were on the extreme side of things, and he definitely talked about it. But I don't know if that was before he went to jail or after, or was it really 2 years? What did he really get diagnosed with? You know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay. So I have a
These are the questions I
video.
ask myself about that.
Oh. Okay. So I have a video that I want to play for
Oh, was
you.
it 6 months? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, 2 years is a long time. Hold on, you guys. We're gonna delve deep. We're getting ready to get a little deeper.
I don't
I
know
have
if it
a
was two
video
years.
that I want.
He might have said 6 months. Okay, I'm
Okay.
listening.
But it was
I'm ready.
quite a bit of time. It was quite a bit of time. So let's get back on track,
Yeah,
please.
still.
So there's a video that I want to play that Velvet is talking about him catching a case over in Honduras, I believe, but it's with a minor child. So now we're getting ready to really get into some things. Give me 1 minute and let
Mm.
me pull up the video.
Hmm.
That are not even here in combination anymore. Give me a minute. I'm gonna pause this for just a minute, you guys. Okay.
Boy, she got the
So this
tea.
is a video. Yes, this is a video that I compiled myself, and I have many videos on
Right.
Eligio. But this is one video that caught my eye in particular, and I want you to listen to it.
Hmm.
And in the video, it's Velvet speaking. So let me go
Hmm.
ahead and Pull it up. I have it up already.
He turned up.
Because they're naming people that are not even here in combination anymore. Hold on a minute. If you want to pull it up and hear it.
No, I can hear it. I can hear it. I'm reading too.
Okay. It sounded like you said turn it up. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm
You
gonna
did,
bring
but
it
it
back up
started
again.
playing. Yeah, yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it. I'm reading
Okay, I
the
want to make sure
article
you.
too.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna see the article. Just give me a minute. I'm gonna start it over, you guys. Article that they have on us is some bullshit because they're naming people that are not even here in combination anymore. This is the article, you guys. They're trying to say that he's a pedophile and that he's also sexually trafficking. Do you hear this? This is over in
Yeah, I hear it.
Nicaragua. So he got caught up
Okay.
in Nicaragua, and they're calling him a pedophile. This is before Janae ever said he raped her. They're calling him a
Yeah.
pedophile. Listen to what she's saying now. That is not true. He was just physical evidence or any type of anything to arrest him for. The Nicaragua Managua article that they have on us is some bullshit because they're naming people that are not even here in combination anymore. They're trying to say that Jesus is a pedophile and that he's also sexually trafficking women here. That is not true. He's a pedophile and he's sexually trafficking women. Now I'm gonna get deeper with it. Just let me let it finish. People just come up with all these weird ass misconceptions, like he take out money from us and all of this stuff. Like that shit is not true, bro. Like we give our money to the chief when we get here. Right. I get it. I get it. I get it. So has anybody ever
Oh, and
drank
to
his
answer the
sperm?
no, hell no. Hell, well, you told
You
me what's the
never.
name? What's the name? You told me that what's the name gave him head, so I don't know.
He said he did. It's on YouTube, Musa, and it's a long video. I would have to find the video and also get the timestamp. But yeah, Musa said I even sucked your dick.
So if he said it himself, then like I'm sure maybe him, maybe. It's a high possibility, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. You got to ask him about that. But as far as the other men, see, a lot of shit came out afterwards. Like I didn't know that at all. So like I don't know if anybody else did know shit like that. You know what I mean?
No, no, he wasn't speaking figuratively. He told me he sucked Nature Boy's dick. He sucked his
So
dick.
boom.
There's no way going around it. He sucked the man's dick. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know for a fact. I've interviewed Musa. I've talked to him over the phone. Musa has sucked Nature Boy's dick. And from my understanding, Solar has too. Whether they want to admit it or not, it happened. We're gonna get into it. This is an interview, and
So I want to say something. I want to say something about
go
that.
ahead.
Like I want people to understand the dynamic of like the fucking situation. So like there was a like after Mexico, after Panama, there was like an A team and a B team. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but like I think I
You
did. Maybe
did.
y'all can go back and
Get
watch it.
into it.
So with
Get
that,
into it.
okay, okay. So the B team they handled like B team was really the musicians. To be honest with you, like me, Caliber, Kite, uh, type shit. Like me, Caliber, Kite, and like everybody else that was new, like and shit like that. But if anybody, I guess he was thought he could use financially or use like outside of the tribe, like as far as driving cars, like licensed people or like people of age that could handle finances and shit like that, like or trusted enough to handle whatever how he felt. He or brought in money, like some shit like that. He would put him on A team or some shit like that. It's like, oh, you can handle this or whoop de boo. And he kept those people close, way closer than B team, like way closer. Like motherfuckers would be having oh, A team meeting, this or like shit like that. Like you know what I'm saying? So like he was a lot closer to the people that was A team, which was Musa, Solar, Loyal, uh, Musa, Solar, Loyal, and Aaron.
Mm, okay.
Niggas was always
Musa
shitting on the B
Solar.
team. You heard me? Niggas was always shitting on the B team like we wasn't shit, but like motherfuckers was always pulling in the views and shit like that. Like we would all like our music, all of that shit. When we came on camera, we was like them niggas. So like a lot of the times he was jealous because he's insecure. Like you gotta think, I took Malia Caliber, almost took Velvet, Afro, motherfucking all of that type shit. So it's like this nigga really didn't like us.
Wow, wow. There's so many things to get into. I want to get into the pregnancies of the women of Ephraim having her. He made Ephraim have an abortion. I want to know, did Malia ever get pregnant by you? You guys, there's so many things
No,
to get into.
Malia never got pregnant by me at all. Hell no.
Did she get pregnant
But
at
Afro
all?
got pregnant. No, hell no. But Afro got pregnant by Caliber twice, and he made her abort the baby twice.
That's really sad, y'all, because I remember when Efru was with Caliber. She seemed to be so happy. They both seemed to be happy and very much in love. And I'm sure that Efru wanted to have his baby. But of course, Nature Boy, aka Ihio, aka Three God, had other plans.
Wow, there's another bomb.
Yeah,
Damn.
and yeah, on God, that shit's crazy.
How did she
Out of
abort
his
the
own
baby?
interview, I believe through like Plan B's or like hibiscus or like anything else he this nigga come up with. I don't fucking know, but it probably does.
Sunflower, we'll get into that, the abuse. That's the abuse part of it. We're going to get back into that. Oh, wow. Okay, so now at this time, during this interview, we have definite proof that Nature Boy is aggressive by nature. He's also dealt with underage children. So I want to bring it up a little bit because there's so many more things. This interview can go on forever. I'm just
Yeah,
really
it really can. On
done.
some real, like, it's 4 years. It's really like 7 years of information. This is ridiculous.
It is. Okay, so let's talk
But yeah.
about you. Okay, so we were talking about you and him being attracted to you when you found out he was attracted to you.
hmm
Um, had he ever, you said he never tried to have sex with you, but he
Oh,
did.
but I did
Tell
give
us about
him
the
a
incident, the
fucking.
jack off incident. Explain to
You
us
said what,
exactly. Go into detail about the jack off incident because
bro? This is what
I
happened.
still
I'll
don't
tell you the
understand
story,
what
and this is my
exactly happened.
last time explaining this shit because I really don't like talking about it because this nigga
I
so
know you
fucking
don't like talking
put
about it, but come
theatrics
on.
to this shit. I got you. Basically, it was like I was called up there to this was Atlanta. Let me give you the whole shit. We was in Atlanta. This is right before he got arrested. So this is the very end. Like this is the end of all ends. This is about right before this nigga get locked up, right? And he's all full mode crazy. You know what I'm saying? Full on fucking fucked up, right? Letting his demons out and all that shit. This nigga called me upstairs. I go up there, Caliber up there, Solar up there, Moose up there, and maybe Loyal, maybe in like the bedroom part or whatever, but the doors are open or whatever. This nigga called me up there and everything like that. This nigga and all the women, them niggas is naked. Them niggas is just be honest. Them niggas is naked, right? I'm like, I'm fully clothed. I got my shit on, all everything like that. This nigga is in front of his shower, looking at himself in the mirror, looking at himself. The women touching on him and shit. And we'll do this nigga trying to have a normal conversation with me. I'm over here hella uncomfortable. This is psychological rape, right? I'm like, what the, or psychological molestation, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? And at this point, I'm not about to sit here and goddamn, y'all gotta understand. This nigga would have, if I would have just been like, hell no, I'm about to walk away, like, fuck this shit, like, what the fuck is going on, right? And all those people's there. I would first of all be looking like, oh, this something dangerous could have happened to me. I'm saying pretty much if I just was like, if I just completely left, like, oh fuck this shit, like hell no. It was all situations was dangerous. I want y'all to know that. Like shit was like walking on fucking ice with this nigga. So like, anyways, this nigga's looking at himself in front of his mirror, playing with himself, and the women is touching all over him and all this shit, right? And this is probably a 5 minute interaction, right? A 5 minute interaction before I was quote unquote dismissed, right? Going back about my business and whatnot. This nigga, like probably 3, 4 minutes through the fucking conversation, he's not even talking to me. There's hella people there. He's not even talking to me. And then this nigga once was like, oh my God, look at, he looked over to me. He was like, oh, look at Ice. he looked like a cheetah. Went back to looking at his self and everything, and then Sheba was like, oh, he or somebody. I really don't remember who the fuck it was. It was really multiple women like, oh yeah, whoop de whoop, he kind of do. I'm like, okay, whatever. Niggas is acting like they cats and shit like that and whatnot. So whatever. And then I was dismissed. This nigga Solar, after he left, out of his own trying to get back at Nature Boy, trying to make him seem, trying to expose Nature Boy, just worded that shit completely wrong. Like, yeah, I got a video of him masturbating the fucking pipes, whoop de woo. Like, I talked to that nigga, like, why the fuck would you say that? Like there was no one, you made it, you did not explain that well, you know what I mean, at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was that situation.
That is disgusting, y'all. And you know Nature Boy could only do that with them young kids because a real man, a grown ass man, would have been like, bro, what are you doing?
Solar also made a comment. He said he has many videos of Nature Boy, one of which he has you guys standing around in a circle and you guys all had to jack off to Nature Boy's voice. Do you recall
Well,
that?
what the fuck? Hell no. Ask him about that video. Ask him to show you the video and be like, look for me. And yeah, I bet you won't see that much. Bet you. Hell no, nigga.
You know about any of
Maybe
them
he got
standing
a
around in a
maybe he got
circle
a
jacking off to Nature Boy's
my nigga. Cherry, I would never do no shit like that. Hell no.
I know you wouldn't. I
But
didn't
no,
say
maybe
you. I
maybe
said any of them.
maybe them maybe he got a video like that. You know what I'm saying? Of him doing some shit like that. Of them. Like I said, there was like he kept them closer. You understand? They would know.
Mm,
Like I would never. And let alone like why would they come out and be like because they probably felt raped. They probably felt psychologically raped. They probably felt like they was going through some shit. Like, why the fuck would they just be like, hey, y'all, they didn't tell us no shit like that. 18 would never tell no shit like that. They tried to keep up the facade of being like they was something. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Okay, so this is what I want to get into really quick. Zoka's baby. Zoka's baby has been the question. Zoka and Solar's baby has been the question. Do you tell us what you know as far as the baby when she went into labor? What happened? Where did she go? You know, because there's been so many stories. I don't know if you heard Fifi tell her story about what happened. She told a story about what happened. The other lady, the Nature Boy, what is that lady's name? And I did a whole live about her. The girlfriend, the other girlfriend. She was a really big supporter.
You talking about
Not Scale, not Scales, the
Bambi?
other lady. No, no, no,
I
no,
don't know what
no.
you're
This
talking
was a lady that was a supporter. She was a supporter on Big O, and then she is now a girlfriend. Oh, what I could see
Yeah.
her face, but I can't remember her name.
Describe what she looks like for me. Maybe I can come up with you right now.
She's fair. Elway. There we go. Elway the God. Elway the
Okay, yeah, I
God.
know. I know about Elway.
Okay, Elway was supposed to come and help deliver Zoka's baby. So was Seven. Now, I have a few questions about that. Number one, was Seven on the compound when Zoka was pregnant in Puerto Rico?
No. Well, she can't yeah, at one point, but not when she was in labor or no shit like that. She had been like
Oh, okay. So what she said was definitely true, but she did know Zoka was pregnant.
yeah, she was there for maybe a month or like maybe a couple, like maybe 3 weeks or some shit like that, but maybe even less than that, to be honest with you. I honestly forgot she was there until you said something just now, but she was there for a short, brief time.
Okay, who was supposed to deliver Zoka's baby?
The fucking hospital. This is my first time hearing that there was people that were supposed to be medullas. I guess I didn't know Seven and Elway were supposed to be medullas. Y'all gotta understand, he kept a lot of secrets. So like a lot of the times, a lot of shit that gets exposed comes out from those specific people because they were the only people that knew because he was so manipulative. He didn't want everybody to know what he was doing because they would probably put shit together that he didn't want to be put together or like expose him for being somebody that he was pretending to be and he's not that. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of shit was kept secret. But from what I know, this is what I know, my experience. My experience, from what I've been told, and from what I know, Zoka was pregnant and whatnot, and I guess Solar was like, she don't need to be drinking or whatever. Because, like I said, he always was insecure about women that did not want to be with him, or that would like never be with him, or it would look bad to be with them. But he wanted them, even if they was pregnant or not. So I guess he had her drinking one night, and Solar found out and was like, "Stop that shit." But I guess in that interaction, they had sex while she was pregnant. I didn't know that until like maybe a week ago, because I people tip me up and stuff like that. But yeah, they had sex while she was pregnant, drunk. I think that's rape. I think that is rape. I think that's rape. But um, yeah, because she was under the influence and whatnot, and probably in her right mind would not do no shit like that. So and I'm sure he coerced her into doing it just like he did with Janae. Same shit, same exact shit, same principle being broken. But anyways, yeah, so that happened, and I guess she was about to be in labor maybe a couple weeks or some shit like that, or maybe 2 weeks. I don't know, but yeah, that fucking happened. That's crazy. That's wild. It's not okay. That's foul. That's disgusting. That's ill, and that's wicked. And that's what I know. And then she went to the hospital and everything like that. And when she went to the hospital, from what Solar had said, she had the baby. The baby was deceased. He held the baby and gave the baby back to the doctors, and then they came home. You see what I'm saying?
They left the baby at the hospital?
I mean, I think they would have to, wouldn't they? I mean, a deceased child.
No,
He didn't come up with.
no, they don't have to. What they do is, you can have a funeral. So there was no funeral for baby love. They just left her there.
I don't know. You have to ask him. From what he told me, he gave the.
I did ask him. He told me he left the baby at the hospital.
That's what he told me too. So boom, there it is.
He left the baby at the hospital, and he cut all ties there. Which he probably didn't have any money to have a funeral.
Yeah, or something like yeah, But he was
So
extra upset. He was extremely upset.
they both were. I seen that. I seen Solar. I didn't think he was gonna make it, honey. I really didn't. I seen him. He was extra upset. You're right.
Yeah, he was like,
Um,
yeah,
he loved that baby. He wanted that baby. That is crazy. That can really break a person. Okay, so Solar had the baby. The baby was born at the hospital. There's no burning the baby and all that. They can kill that. I knew they didn't burn the baby. Fifi gonna talk about they buried the baby up on that mountain with her ignorant ass. But anyways, so the baby is deceased, and you guys are
it's the
going through
rape for
the
me. I'm
motion.
sorry. It's the rape for me. That whole situation where he had sex with her pregnant, drunk, is that's the part.
I was
That's
just
the
getting
part
ready
y'all
to go
need to
back
be.
and say that.
Y'all do not need to be. Yeah, that's part to me. For me personally, is fucking wild. Like that shit right there had me like that shit got me hot for real. That shit got me tight. I ain't gonna
But
lie.
when I asked her about it, she said she wasn't raped. She's saying that because we know she has Stockholm syndrome. But this is my
Yeah, that's
thing.
what I'm saying. Like
What?
she's saying that out of denial.
Right. So were you there when she was being raped?
Man, hell no, hell no. What you
So
mean?
you
Like,
can this is something
was
you
I in the
heard.
trunk? What do you mean in term? Was I there physically seeing it, or did? Because I no,
Were
hell
you
no.
there anywhere on the compound at the time when Zoka
Probably
was raped
so.
by nature when
Probably
she was
so.
pregnant?
Probably so. Most
Okay.
likely. Most
Who
likely.
told you that Zoka was raped while being pregnant?
Well, it was just speculation, but it was nobody from the tribe. It was just somebody that kept up with it's just somebody that an online supporter that keeps up with everything that goes on there. So she was
But an
telling me
online
about
supporter is different from somebody actually being there in the house.
oh no, nobody in the house said that. Nope. Why would someone in the house say that? You know what I mean?
Well, Solar
You gotta
said
think
that
about this
Velvet,
black
I mean, not
child.
Velvet, excuse me, Velvet said it as well. Velvet and Solar both said that Zoka was raped multiple times by Nature Boy while she was pregnant.
See, this is my first time hearing that. I only knew about that one situation.
Oh, one situation. Okay, do you know at any point in time of Nature Boy throwing away Zoka's food while she was pregnant?
No, hell no. I mean, he probably did some shit like that, but not that I know of. It's not outside of his character to do some foul shit like that. But
But
do I
as far
know?
as
No.
you know,
No.
did you hear about when he raped all the women at the house, the first house in Puerto Rico, when he took all the wives back? And he
No.
raped Syrian so bad that it took her a year to heal anally?
Who?
Nature Boy.
Have
Oh,
you
excuse me, he was in Baja, Cal. Well, Baja's not in California. Baja's actually in Mexico. Sunflower. He was in. They were in Baja, to be
Wow,
exact.
I didn't know that.
Sunflower. They're in
Nope.
Baja.
I know that. Like I said, he
They
like
were at the
we
house in Baja.
for example, we were in a whole separate house. We were in a whole separate
You guys.
Airbnb house, whatever you know, call it. And they was in a
Mhm.
whole miles and miles away. So when that shit happened, nah, I didn't know that.
Okay. So we've been on the rape, Nature Boy. I want to skip around just a little bit, you guys. Okay, bear with me. Now, during this time that you were there and Loyal was there, how did Nature Boy treat Loyal? Because he called Loyal his Enoch. What was the word he used? Sister, give me the right word.
Wife? What do you mean? Sister wife? What are you talking about?
No, he gave Loyal a name, and I believe it was Enoch or Enoch, a nuke.
Oh, oh,
Eunuch.
hold on.
Eunuch. He
Unit,
named
unit,
Loyal his
unit,
eunuch.
unit. Oh, this is what
What?
that was. So that this is what happened, right? With the naming. So what's your question? How did he get the name?
No, not how
Or
did he
what?
get the name. What did you visually see? How did you visually see him treating Loyal? And why did he name Loyal his eunuch? It's a two-part question.
Okay, so what I visually seen was him leaving, Loyal leaving, right? And then right before he came back, he was on live and he was saying that he is done with women. He was like, man, I'm just gonna be as a joke. He was like, I'm gonna rename myself eunuch on some shit because I'm not dealing with women as like a joke. And then when he actually arrived, he was just outperforming the women as far as like needs and services, such as like bringing them shit like that, like a towel or some food or like some shit like that. Because like I said, he kept 18 closer, so he was 18, so he was always around. And not only did Loyal happily do the shit he wanted to, and he liked the attention he was getting from like a leaky hoe like the whole time. So like, and he was using that to make the women perform in his eyes at a higher, like at a more like something
Standard.
that fits. Yeah, his standards were like a better standard. He was like, how the fuck is he doing this shit better than y'all?
Now, we all know that him telling the girls that Loyal's better and taking care of him better was all a part of his manipulation tactic to try to get them to up their game and serve him more.
Like, how the fuck is he like he'll get up quicker than y'all. He'll get up quicker than y'all and do some shit like whoop de whoop like that. That was the whole shit.
Do you believe that Loyal and Nature Boy had a special relationship or a
You need
sexual relationship?
nah, but like, but who knows though? From what you told me, probably. I think maybe. I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I think it's highly possible.
Possible. Why did Nature Boy considered Loyal a eunuch? Because he called him his eunuch too. He told Loyal, he said, "You are my eunuch." Why?
I'm trying to tell you, it was a seed that Loyal planted in his head before that he even arrived. He was on live. He was like,
Mm.
before he came back, he was saying, I'm done with women, whoop de woo. Because that was the whole reason why he left in the first place, is because of women. He was like dealing with women and shit like that. He like, he could fuck somebody raw on his bed or some shit like that. He was left. He was like, oh, you disrespectful, you gotta go. So when he decided to come back, that was like his, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like his like self-reflection, I guess, in a way to put it.
Hmm.
Like I'm not gonna deal with women, I'm a eunuch type shit. I'm just gonna be a eunuch. You
Wow.
know, this is
Wow.
insane. This nigga, what's the name is insane. A leaky hoe ass nigga is insane. Like this nigga basically probably was like, oh yeah, he think he God and shit like that. This is my eunuch. This is my special motherfucker that can
He
serve
did.
me that I don't have to
Hmm.
worry about. Because you got to think that would feed into his insecurities too. He probably wanted all the men to be eunuchs. You know what I mean? That fed into his insecurities, wanted to have all the women. So it was like At least I don't gotta worry about him type shit.
Wow. So, how do you feel like he treated Loyal?
Just like that, he bigged his head up. You know what I'm saying? Because he thought that all the men should be like loyal, like be on like
Loyal.
the type time where yeah, like loyal type shit. Like in his mind, not having no women and serving him in any which way he pleases, as far as anything, it could be fucking anything, is like the epitome of what a man should be doing in the tribe or some shit like that. But yeah, that's how he viewed him. He viewed him like, oh yeah, this is somebody I could easily manipulate, pretty much.
Well, while we're on the subject of Loyal, let's talk about Loyal's death.
Please do.
Do you do you feel like that message in the window was written for you guys, for carbonation members or ex-carbonation members?
Listen, it's too much. Like I would have to speculate a little bit more, but like, see, because it wouldn't make sense. Like that shit wouldn't make no like like I said in the first interview, it's either for us or throw the police off. It could be either one. I believe it could be either one. The more the
Right.
story comes out, the more things get revealed. I can come up with an actual conclusion to answer that. But right now, I feel like it was either to throw the police off in terms of maybe they knew something about him. He was in a cult. Like this is a perfect way to make the cops think like it was connected to the cult and not them that actually murdered him.
Or
Or it was a straight up I'ma kill this nigga for nature boy. You know, it was either one of those.
I don't think it was either one because of the newspaper articles and because of the conversation I had with his sister. But I'm not going to get into that. But what I do want to ask you, because that's separate, what I do want to ask you is, do you think possibly that message could have been a positive message because he knew that he was in some shit and he knew his days were numbered on this earth. So, and he knew that you guys would see the message. So do you think that that could have just been a message to tell you guys to just keep on keeping on, you know,
It
after
could
he
have
was
been.
gone?
It could have been. It could have been, but that don't sound like him from from who I know him to be. That don't really sound like him. That sound like that's a possibility, but like that don't sound like him at all.
Well, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't for you because of the relationship that you and him had, but it could have been for Solar. It could have been for any one of you guys. The reason why I say that is because he knew he was in some shit. He knew he was living at a trap house. He knew he was doing drugs, and he knew he was running dope. He knew these things, and also he knew that if he didn't come up with the dope man's money, that they was gonna kill him. Exactly what happened.
Now, can I tell you
He got
something that's a
up
spit
at
in
the
the face
trap
to
house.
me? Can I tell you something that's a spit in the face to me and everybody else?
Go ahead.
These are the type of conversations that we would have with him all the fucking time. Like before
That's what
he left,
Solar.
like literally, we'll be like for years telling this nigga like, bro, you're not like that. If you ever try some shit that was like that, you would probably end up dead because you don't know what the fuck you're doing and you wasn't raised like that, nigga. So stop goddamn pretending. You need to chill the fuck out because you would end up dead. Out of love. And the way he responded was fucking hateful. The way he responded was like basically fuck you. And even in his actions speak louder than words. If you have people that support you that are telling you not to do this and you like fuck y'all basically like and then still treat you like shit on a daily basis and like egotistical, arrogant, disrespectful, racist, and the list goes on. It's just like why would I even give a fuck about your death when
Y'all, did he just say Loyal was racist? Like, how is that possible? He dated Ra, he was serving Nature Boy, and he lived around all melanated people. Like, how?
you and this is just my first amendment right. Y'all can feel any type of way y'all can feel. And that's by all means okay with me, but y'all not finna sit here and tell me how to feel about this man's death when I know for a fact I've had that what you just said, but we predicted his death pretty much. We predicted that was the way he was gonna die. If he ever like carried that fake ass persona around in the real world. Luckily you were isolated and we could sit here and talk to you about that shit. But like yeah, like he wanted to do those things and we were like advising him and not to, like plenty of times. Like, and it's just like for him to go out that way is a complete slap in the face because it's like, nigga, we warned you and now look at you.
Right.
And it wouldn't be like that if he wasn't. It wouldn't even be that type of response from me if he would have responded like, okay, I can consider what you're saying. Like, okay, maybe you're right. Like, maybe you're right. Maybe I should like slow down and calm down and like rethink the way that I want to act in my personality and shit like that, and be in my actions and stuff like that. Maybe I should consider it. But that wasn't in his person. That wasn't in his responses for years. His response was really "fuck you," like literally. So yeah, like I mean, I wasn't surprised when it happened. The world may have been surprised, but I wasn't. I wasn't surprised, not one motherfucking bit. I didn't even know he was in a trap house, but I knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? So like, cause he told me, and it's like I believed him because why would he lie about doing the things he was doing when I know for a fact this is the type of lifestyle that he wanted to live? It's like a white boy trying to be black. It's like a white boy trying to be hood, a white boy trying to be gangster, a white boy trying to be like that was, or even a black boy. Even it doesn't matter. It's someone that was not raised in that type of environment, somebody that did not have to do those things to survive, but wanted to because you thought it was cool. And nigga, that shit ain't cool because you get up in jail or dead or even like real shit. And it's just like for those things to happen, I'm not one surprised, and two, I don't feel bad at all because I warned him. Not even just me, multiple people. So it's like, I mean, if he had that message on the window, maybe I don't know, but it could be a multitude of things. It could be somebody throwing off the police because if he was connected to somebody that was doing dope, I'm sure that they wanted to have research on who they were dealing with. So I'm sure they found out some type of information, perhaps. So it could have been them,
Hmm.
or it could have been a hate crime, whatever. But it was most likely them niggas he was dealing with, the niggas that we pretty much type of person that we warned him not to deal with, and boom, there it is.
Definitely.
He ended up dead, and I'm not afraid to be like, nigga, I told you so, even after he died, because I've been telling him that. Period.
Hmm. Definitely. I agree with you, and I know I definitely believe that it definitely was
Okay, now I get where he's coming from and I get his stance on Loyal's passing. However, I still can't agree with how he reacted to Loyal's passing. It's very unfortunate.
not connected to carbonation or
So it's like,
ex-carbonation members or Juju or Jax.
so this nigga died on
So
his own terms that we warned him about. It's like literally. So it's like,
that's true.
yeah, nigga, I don't care. I already
That's
cared enough.
that's definitely true. Okay, so what I want to do right now is I'm gonna go ahead. Before we get into, I want to get into a little bit more about Loyal's death, and I also want to get into Nature Boy's case.
Okay.
So, but I want to do that in another part. I don't want to do it tonight. I want to do it in another part.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
what I want to do is I'm going to let people go ahead and ask questions. Star Moon has a few questions, and I'm going to read her questions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, have y'all been concerned? Okay. So, one question she asked was, have any of the members been concerned that they will catch whatever Malia has? Because we all know Malia
Nigga,
is sick.
motherfucker, me, nigga, me,
What is it
goddamn.
that
I was
Malia
like,
has? What do you
I
know
don't
that
fucking
Malia
know, nigga. I don't fucking know. And the reason I'm so passionate about this shit is because like,
has?
nigga, I
Yes.
had sex with her. It's like, I don't know what the bitch had. If even if she did have something, because
Oh, so
according
you
to the
did have
medical
sex with
records,
Malia.
yeah, when we was in Panama, so like, but I have no fucking. Anyways, let me get to what I'm saying before I say what I was about to say. I was about
Go
to say,
ahead.
based upon the actual medical records, because everyone knows she went to the hospital and everything
Yes.
like that. When they came back, they actually had the medical records of like what what she had when she didn't have, and she didn't have anything.
So it didn't say she had HIV and she was undetectable?
Yeah, it did not
Undetected?
say that. It did not. Yeah, it literally did not say nothing about you having AIDS, nothing about her having HIV or fucking chlamydia or gonorrhea and all of the fucking above. It said nothing based off the actual meta. If y'all can find that live, by all means, go research because like the motherfucker was on live showing that the fresh off the bat medical records that just was like, you know what I mean?
So she didn't have herpes like everybody else has?
Look, bro, like I said, from the medical records, according to the medical records, no.
at that point in time. But we all know she has herpes right now. I can
You might
let
have
me
caught
tell
that
you
shit
something.
afterward.
Okay. Okay. So let me tell you something. Velvet has
I'm
admitted
listening.
that she has herpes. Janae has admitted that she has herpes. Efru has admitted that she has herpes. What is that light skinned pretty one's name that was over there with the little voice, the prostitute? What was her name? With the curly hair.
Um,
Niza admitted she had herpes.
yeah, you
Niza.
talking about Niza. You talking about
The
Niza,
list
yeah.
goes on. Shit. What is that other one? Syrian admitted she had herpes. Damn near all the women, including Nature Boy, have herpes. So I'm sure if they got it, I know Solar got to have herpes. I know Musa got to have herpes. Like, yeah.
Well, I never showed no
So,
symptoms or no shit like that. Like I don't burn, no shit
but
like
if
that,
you
no
don't have
bumps, no
herpes,
shit like
you came in fresh and you left and you weren't really having sex. You don't have, how many people did you have sex with in
my
carbonation?
baby mama and her. Look, my baby mama and no one has
Well,
sex
that's
with my
why
baby
you
mama.
don't have herpes. So
You feel
you
me?
got a hold of Malia. You got a hold of Malia before she got herpes. So Malia got
Yeah,
herpes after that, which makes sense because we're around the time she got really, really sick, and you weren't having sex with her then. Okay, so yeah, you probably don't have herpes.
you
I would
feel
agree
me?
with that. Now, I got one big question because we got
Mm-hmm.
to, you guys, we're going to do another part to this interview. It's so long. I got so many questions. And Star Moon, I'm going to finish asking your questions, but I do want to ask this. Do you know if it is true or not that Nature Boy has HIV?
Mm, that shit I don't know. I personally, in my opinion, I have no evidence. I think he do, especially of his past and all of that shit. Like he was a prostitute and all that type. Well, a male stripper. I'm fucking sure this nigga got that shit, but I have no evidence.
Okay, so let me go ahead and ask you the questions of my supporters. Let me finish asking Star Moons, and then we're gonna go. If you got a question, put it in the comments. Give me a minute. We're gonna start with Star Moons. I'll ask you the questions, Pice, so then that way we can get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so have y'all ever been concerned that you will catch? Okay, what if they thought that something may be wrong? Why did you stay? What do you mean,
Like
Star Moon? I don't
concerning
understand. Oh, why did you stay when all the confusion was going on? She wants to know why did you stay?
the fucking gaslighting. Like it was, well, it was a multitude of reasons. Number one, I had already, I outside of the bullshit, was already
Hmm.
focused on the music and everything like that because we was making a lot of connections. Like I don't know if y'all know who Big Scar is, the
I
rapper
do.
who had died. His producer, band play, and the dude with the red hair, Sauce Poppy, him. They're all like industry producers and stuff like that. So like I was seeing a lot of progression as far as the music and like being able to
Ooh, Sauce Poppy. Go ahead.
the dude with the red dreads.
I know who Sauce Poppy is. He's the one that fucked that fruit. Go ahead.
This man made some of Big Scar's music, his beats.
Okay, I believe it. He is. Yes,
He,
he is in the
he,
industry.
he used to come to the garage and we used to make
Hmm.
music. He used to have beats for free, industry quality beats for free.
Wow.
So in my mind, as the years went on, like a lot of like Tank, that nigga had a party down the street from where we fucking lived.
Right.
Uh,
You guys all went.
people in the no, I didn't fucking go or no shit like that.
You
I
didn't
was
go?
focused on my no, hell no. But
Nature Boy
like
went with the. Hmm.
so like so boom, they had a part Tank had a party. Like who else? Battle rappers knew about him that had interactions with him and stuff. So it was like I seen the opportunity. I seen opportunity. Like I could make music and really put my foot in the door. So that was one reason. Another reason, he kept a lot of secrets. Not only did he keep a lot of secrets, you think I would have stayed if I would have known all of this shit, like the 16-year-old or the rape or no
No,
shit
I
like
don't
that?
think you
Hell
would have
no.
stayed. No,
You
because
see what
you
I'm
can
saying?
get.
Hell no. You see what I'm saying? So like there was a lot of secrets. There was a lot of gaslighting and manipulation. So like say if something was off that happened, it was easily manipulated to be like it wasn't what it was type shit, or like niggas is
Right.
just trolling, or like everything everybody else is saying is just wrong, and you got to look at it from this perspective, and like this is what really is going on. When actuality, it is what everybody else is saying. So like that's another reason. So it was like that's why I stayed.
Okay. Why didn't you do any research before you went over there to Nature Boy?
I did hella research. I did hella research, but the things that I found out, the one thing that was a little bit alarming was the video when he was like, "Oh, I let my fucking son touch my penis and whoop de woo." And I was like, "Is
Right.
he saying like he's saying played?" But is I don't think. But from what I know now, it's probably he's a pedophile who's just in denial of it. But like I was like, okay, so what do you mean by that? And from what he explained, he was like, out of purity, because he's a nudist. He added like he didn't feel no type of way about it. Like it wasn't like he was trying to fuck his son or no shit like that, or
Mhm.
like have sex with his son, or like having his son give him a hand job or anything like that. I think as a child, walking up to, not saying this is okay by any means, like I would do no shit like this or anything like that, but I can see how a child not knowing what genitals are would like around somebody like him being naked and shit like that might have touched him. The nigga was okay with it and like shit like that. But this nigga was like, that was the only thing. And I was like, well, based upon everything else that he's doing, that little flaw right there, I really didn't see it as pedophile energy, like because of the way that he explained it. But over the years, knowing who he actually is, I think he was just in denial of his pedophilia. And I think that that situation should have never happened with his son. But outside of that, like that little bit of information, I was like, okay, he used to be a male stripper. Okay, there's strippers all the time. There's IG models that strip. There's all type of people that fucking strip. Like I was like, right, what else? Like he was a barber and he had connections with celebrities and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, he was in foster care. All right, like this is normal activity. Like this is not no crazy out of the ordinary ass like mind blowing information that would make me be like judge you as a person. Like because of everything
Right.
else that he was doing. Like this is just someone's past. Like I'm not really tripping on someone's past, especially because we all come from like situations and stuff like that. Like you know what I mean? So I was really not tripping. But like I said, a lot of the information that was serious was withheld. Like that 16-year-old, that was withheld information. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
the whole leaving that area, Costa Rica, and all that shit was like the news have videos of them being like taken off a bus and treated some type of way on the plane and all of
Mhm.
that shit. So like motherfuckers, that was catching my eye more than anything, and let alone I didn't even know that situation, that actual situation, why he actually left. You know what I mean, was the 16-year-old girl and everything like that. I just found that out tonight. So it's like a lot of the important information that would like make me reconsider going there was withheld.
I don't know about y'all, but that I let my son touch my penis video would have been my red flag. That would have been my full stop. That would have been like, I'm not going. That's weird. Period.
And hidden.
Damn. Okay. So, did you know of Sauce Poppy sleeping with Efru?
Man, hell dog, because when he came, the first couple times that I met the man, man was just like real chill. Dude was real like chill. He didn't even he had his wife and all of that shit and kid
Mhm.
and he was just chilling. I didn't really think to and then I didn't think that he would do no shit like that. But what made me think he wouldn't do no shit like that was like one time Nature Boy, Alihi
Mhm.
Ho was like this whole ass nigga, he was saying he was like, man, I fuck with Sauce cause I said so he asked Sauce like, what do you think about my wives? And Sauce was like, I don't even know what the fuck they look like type shit. I didn't even look at them type shit. So that's the energy I perceived him with. Like that's the perspective I was coming at him with when it came to like him and like women and shit like that. Like, oh,
Mhm.
he's not even attracted to him. He's not even worried about him. He's not even paying him any mind.
So you weren't there when he cussed Efru out about being up in Sauce Poppy's face?
You talking about on live where he was like, you my bitch, you my motherfucking bitch. You talking about that?
When he slapped the shit out of her and told her to stay out of niggas' faces.
No, I was not present for that, but I was present for when he was like, I was watching the live when he was like, you, because he always traveled. I did watch that live when he was like, "You my bitch" and all this shit, like say you my bitch and all this, but not when he was slapping the shit out of her and
Oh no no
saying,
no 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 no! This was at the house in Atlanta when he told her when he got mad at her and he's like, "What was you doing up in that nigga?" After they came back from a party that Sauce Poppy had given, he told her, "What was you doing up in that nigga face? You got a crush on that nigga? You think that nigga look good?" She said he's handsome, but she was gonna say but before she had a chance to say he knocked the shit out of her.
"Nah, I ain't see that. Hell no. I was busy. I'm not gonna sit here in front to y'all. Like motherfuckers kept me
Right.
busy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was editing like a lot of the videos. I edited a lot of the thumbnails. I created. I'm talented with the computer, so like nigga had me on the computer too. Outside of just doing music. Outside I was doing that. I was doing music. Outside of music, I was doing like the grunt work and shit like that, like everything else. So I was motherfucking busy. A lot of the lives I missed because I was not paying attention to that shit. Cause there was no way I could goddamn keep up with that shit. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Okay, I definitely understand that. So you don't know anything about that. Okay. Let me go to the next question. Miss Curtis asked, "Did you ever witness the abuse to Malia and Afro?"
Hell yeah, I seen him hit Efru. I seen him slap Malia. I seen him that one time they had when she was on live when he was cussing her out on Twitter and all that shit. Um, and I heard about stories that were concerning, like the whole shit, like when you can tell when somebody just went through something. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they said anything, but you can tell. Because like we would be in separate houses, so like a lot of the times, like he would be off, but like you can kind of tell if somebody like just went through something, like just unspokenly knowing, like so not just me seeing that couple instances, but like just the energy that they carried while they was around him was like fearful. So like it would have to be some type of violence going on, because why would anyone be moving like kind of scary or cautiously around you, like to the point of like they can't even speak their mind freely without having to think that, like I said, even me, nigga, I was walking on ice. I'd be like, that's why I stayed away, nigga. I'm like, I ain't about to be in one of them type of situations where this nigga get mad and try to like do some shit or like get in my face and all of that type shit, or like hell no, I ain't about to go through that, nigga. Like, you see my fucking face? Hell no.
Now, it comes as no surprise to know that Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, abused those women. We've heard it many, many times before, but guys, those women are still there pushing Three and backing him. I would have taken the opportunity with him in jail to leave.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
What
Tone
was
said, "Have you seen the video with Kino?"
now? I don't know who the fuck that is. Y'all have to elaborate.
Tone, what video are you talking about? Sauce Poppy came later towards the end from Big O. Yeah, we know that, Tone. Did Pi's mom watch Nature Boy 2 before going?
My mother? No.
Yeah, did your mom watch Nature Boy before
A
you went?
little, not but like not no fucking like I was watching no shit like that. I mean, no,
Okay. Pi said she said I always thought she introduced Pice to carbonation, but I could be
no,
wrong.
I
Did your mom
introduced
introduce you to
myself.
carbonation?
I mean, hell no. I don't know why people would think that. I mean, I literally just explained earlier in the video, earlier in the interview, how the fuck I joined. Like, no.
Okay. Mrs. Curtis wants to know, did Nature Boy really hate Ephraim?
He probably hated every fucking body there, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Yeah, he hated her
Right.
and everybody fucking else.
How did he treat Ephraim off camera?
It was flip floppy. He's a like I said, he has personality disorders. We all know this. So like, at times it'll be like shit. At times it'll be like, oh, she's a fucking queen.
Damn. Like he did everybody else. Okay, thought he said
Right.
with no disrespect. So Solar said today that your nose was broken twice by by Loyal. So was the rumor true about your nose? Is the incident true about your nose?
Man, hell no, nigga. Like I got into a fight maybe like this is before carbonation. Y'all niggas think that my nose is broken in carbonation and all this other shit. Hell fucking no. Hell no. This nigga didn't even when I fought loyal. This was way in Puerto Rico, and people was already been saying something wrong with my nose and all that shit. It's because I got into some fights before I even joined carbonation. Ben had that shit. Ben had war scars, fighting scars, whatever you want to call that shit. Ben.
Damn. Okay, that's fair. Why did Nature Boy label Pice as the gatekeeper?
Like I said, I think it was two different things. It was because niggas was trolling, and he probably in his little sick mind was like, maybe we could like I can make it a real fucking thing. Like, let me just see if I can coerce him into thinking like if everybody else is thinking like, you know what I mean? If I can get the world to think that he bisexual, maybe I can manipulate him into thinking he bisexual, so I can do something with the nigga. But like, hell no, he labeled me as a gatekeeper because. But you know what he also said to me personally one time? He was like, he basically called me out. He was like, I'm pretty sure this nigga was probably fed up with me trolling. He was like, nigga, stop fucking trying to get attention, bro. He was like, stop trying to get fucking attention, nigga. You not even like that, bro.
Damn. Okay. Miss Curtis said the time when Malia was off camera and came back swollen was she being held in the room and starved from food.
Hell no. Nobody was ever starved from food. Niggas is just. Let me give y'all an example of what the fuck was going on so y'all can actually understand. I believe it was in Germany. They did like some type of experiment with children, and basically they had two groups of adolescents, and then one of them they fed nutritional food, one of them they didn't really feed them the highest quality food. But the difference in the two subjects is they actually was attentive to one, and the other one they ignored. And the people that they ignored, they were feeding them the best of best food. The people that they treated like shit didn't give them no attention, didn't give them no conversation, didn't give them no love, didn't give them no time of the day, was feeding the best food. The niggas lost weight. The people that were kind of like getting kind of good food that they gave attention to, conversation, love, good nights, good morning, conversation, time to play, and all that type of shit, gained fucking weight. It doesn't matter if you're eating the best fucking food. If you're being fucking psychologically abused, you gonna lose fucking weight out of stress. Niggas look like that because niggas was getting psychologically abused.
Damn. Damn. Okay. What does she say? Pice was sitting on the couch with Sonny and said he has his woman and now all he need is his man.
Like I said, that shit
Was
was
he
for
just
views.
going along with
If
Nature
you,
Boy?
yeah, nigga, that was for views, my nigga. Like I just keep like I I don't want to answer that no more, but I get it. Y'all niggas is wondering, but I'll say this shit for the
Mhm.
umpteenth fucking time. That shit was for views. I was dropping a song the next day, and I did.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any more questions? Part three. Part three is going to go more into Loyal's death, and we're going to talk really in depth about the court case and with Pice notes, and we're going to backtrack on some things because I told you guys this interview was going to be long as hell, and I don't want to drain him. I don't want to drain myself, and I definitely don't want to drain you guys. Okay, so does anybody have any more questions before we go ahead and go into a public live? Yes, this is part one, Puff, and we got a whole nother part to do, baby. We not nowhere near done. There's so many things. I still haven't even. I gotta backtrack and go back into when they were in Mexico, things that happened that took place, things that happened in
Yeah,
certain
Mexico was
countries.
traumatizing. Mexico was
Yes,
traumatizing.
and it is. It is, and I don't want to. I don't want to drain you because I'm gonna
I'm
take you
not. I
back.
want to let you
I'm
know.
gonna,
I want to let you know that I have energy for fucking days to talk about this shit. Not only is
okay.
it therapeutic for me, but it clears up a
No,
lot of shit.
no beauty. You guys have already paid.
And them niggas is nosy, so they
You
want
guys
to
get
hear
the
it.
whole interview, part one, part one, and part two. Yes.
Yeah, like if you
Yeah.
have any more questions, if you're tired, by all means. But I'm not.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into some more things and shit while we here. Y'all ready?
You feel me? I'll answer all this shit.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you one more. I'm gonna ask you, but then I do want to go in a couple of more incidents that happened. Okay, but and I know my recorder, she has to go in a minute too, so that's why. Okay, so I got a question really quick. Will you be testifying against Nature Boy, yes or no? Because I told that you were going to be testifying. Now, is that true, yes or no?
No,
Okay, so you're not going to testify at all. If the district attorneys subpoena you, are you going to testify at that point in time? Thank you.
no, no. And the reason why is because I feel like that would be a waste of my time because they got hella evidence already. That would just be like,
So, can you tell the people what evidence that they have besides the evidence that I've already shown?
I'm going to tell you what, if he gets that subpoena and ignores that subpoena, he's going to end up in a jail cell right next to Nature Boy. Y'all know if you are subpoenaed, it is against the law for you to ignore and not respond to an actual subpoena. You can be held in contempt of court.
Go ahead and tell them what they have that you know.
man, listen, man, listen. When we got raided, there was a camera. On the camera, right, is at least a week and a half of footage that was not able to be offloaded into the hard drives, right? So they have not only the hard drives that have everything, nigga, they have the hard drives, and the hard drives is months and months of psychological abuse and dumb shit. So the week of just on the memory card, like the week and a half just on the memory card
You guys
includes
heard the memory card.
what
Go ahead.
memory card includes the fucking Janae situation where she was about to get when she was about to leave right before she got raped. So they the police all they got to do is look at that situation and be like, well, boom, there's evidence right here of him trying to coerce her and like treat her like shit and like have the women try to slap her and fight her and all of this other dumbass shit. Like they had not only that, they probably have conversations but they have conversations behind the scenes of him saying wild ass shit to people like when the white boy came, when the fucking like treating the white boy like shit, psychologically abusing the white boy. They have a whole bunch of evidence of like psychological abuse right there and even physical abuse because he's the one that's ordering the shit. So it's like the shit is crazy. Like him smoking weed, all that type of shit, like illegally, all the type of different shit is on there. Like from that little week and a half, it's hella shit. But not only do they have that, nigga, they got the hard drives. Nigga, the hard drives. Oh my god, nigga, the hard drives probably got porn on that bitch. The hard drives probably got all different type of shit. Like everything was documented. You know what I mean? Because niggas wanted to have behind the scenes for documentaries and shit like that. Because Netflix was setting us up, documentary people were setting us up too. So it's like we was trying to get all the footage we can get and a lot of shit because this nigga's an idiot and because he thought he can get away with so much shit, he was just free as a motherfucker doing dumbass psychological abusing ass psychotic ass shit. Like so, it's like nigga false imprisonment right there got charged with false imprisonment right there. They got um rape. They got motherfucking gaslighting is illegal. They got that a whole bunch of shit. It's like nigga, they got all the evidence in the world. So why the and they have other testifiers. I don't know what the actual name for plural word testify is, but they got hella people to testify already. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't have time for that shit. I got my own life I'm living. I'm not about to get myself involved. I'm already was a part of it. I'm good. They got the evidence they need. They got the laptops too. They got Solar laptop. Boom. Solar laptop probably got the most evidence as far as the financial side of shit. Like they can sit there and probably backtrack some more shit like outside of his beats that's already on there. Like they could probably, but I don't know because he wiped the computer. But in Puerto Rico before we even went to Atlanta. So they might not have shit on there, but like if they did anything legally, financially in Atlanta on some shit, like they got evidence, they got the paper trail on the money. So it's like, my nigga, like I don't even have time to do that shit.
Swallow. Okay. Hold on a minute. Come here. I got to do another one. Okay, so I have another question.
Uh-huh.
The camera, the camera
Mm-hmm.
that has a camel pattern on it or camouflage pattern on it. Where's
Mm-hmm.
that camera?
I don't know where I don't know where that fucking camera is. I would believe that they have it, but like the camera that was
You know
used,
what camera I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what camera you talking about. I would think that I thought they fucking had that shit, cause like we didn't have no fucking cameras when they came through and raided afterwards. We didn't have no goddamn cameras. Only thing we goddamn had was our phones.
But that camera was there before they raided, right?
Everything was there before they raided. Yeah,
Okay. So the what tell me what was on that camera, the camouflage camera. What exactly was on that camera in particular? Because there is a warrant for that camera.
well, probably this is probably why they want the camera. The reason why the camera is probably in question is because the actual camera, this is probably just some evidence that they want. They just want some extra evidence. But like the camera that was actually used on a daily basis, more than the camouflage camera, the black camera, the one that was actually like used frequently, like daily, they got that shit. It probably was on camera. The main camera probably caught the side camera, if that makes sense. And now they're like, oh, what's on that camera? Let's get a warrant for that camera. Let's see if we can get anything else. The main camera they have,
Okay, the
that was there.
PPP loans are not important, Miss Curtis. This has nothing to do. The PPP loans have nothing to do with nothing. He didn't do the PPP loans. I know who did them, and we're not going to talk about them. Okay, moving right along. You said the black camera, the main camera, caught the get off of me, caught the camel camera, right?
Probably so. Basically, what
Did,
I'm trying to tell y'all is the police probably want extra information.
sure.
Cause I know for a absolute fact, 1010%, the main camera that was used was the black Canon camera. Like, and they got that shit. It's not even like I'm snitching or no shit like that. They actually got that bitch. They raided and got that motherfucker. So it's like plus the memory card, plus the hard drives.
Okay. Yeah, the memory card is another one. It's a memory card. I think that has 128 uh megabytes or gigabytes. I have to look at it again. But that memory card in itself, I know that they have it, but they needed a what do you call it, a search warrant so they can view it.
Yeah,
So,
so it's like all they gotta do is open that bitch up. There you go. Some more evidence.
is there things on those cameras that could convict other people in the tribe?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it will all based off what they view will be like blamed on him, the mastermind.
Say
Like if
that
it was
one
a
more
Rico case,
time.
like for example, if it was a Rico case, which they are trying to build, I believe so. I think that they would just blame it on him. I don't think anybody else would be convicted. I think that the women were dumb enough to do that little drone shit. They like, okay, well, we go with the women. They did some illegal shit. Like they getting the fuck up out of here. But everybody else is a victim.
Right. Absolutely. I do believe that all you guys were victims because you guys went there for one reason. But anyways, I agree with you on that. Okay, so Tone said, what was going on behind the scenes when Pop Marquez popped up?
This nigga was basically
Was
bluffing. He
Nature
was
Boy
like,
scared?
nah, he wasn't scared. He was like, just like upset. Like thought niggas was trying him and some old shit. This nigga was basically being extreme in his nature. So yeah, like it wasn't like I like what do you guys mean like in terms of what like how he behaved, what he did, what he said, like he behaved like he normally behaved on like an extremer version of the shit. Like motherfucker was always agitated and shit like that. He was highly focused on how other people perceived him and how he was just highly online at that point. And popped off or something like that and just lied about it like, oh, I just need y'all to do fucking garden work or whatever. But like, this nigga was actually shook or some shit like that and just didn't know how to like communicate that shit. But when he popped up, everyone was just feeling like, oh shit, this nigga came. What the fuck is he on? Is he trying to fight? Is he trying to come here and like take Velvet back, or is he trying to cause attention online? Is he trying to like? We was just figuring out his intentions.
Wow. Yeah, he definitely was there for his daughter. Okay, so they want to know about the prostitution, and that's something else I want to get into because I have pictures. Ooh, do I have pictures? But let me ask you this question. Did Nature Boy send Raw and Aya off to hostels to get money when you guys were over in the foreign countries where Raw
Well, we
and
went
Aya
to
prostitute?
he was kicking them. He was kicking them both out of the tribe. He was just fed up for them with them for whatever reason. But like, it could have been. I don't doubt it. Now I don't know anything about prostitution. Him sending them off to get money, but I don't. Is like I said, it's not past his character to do something like that. But from what everyone else, and this could be, you can question other people about it. It was like, you don't belong in the tribe anymore. We don't fuck with you anymore because you're out of tune. We don't need you around. We would rather you not be here. We're moving and shit like that. So we're gonna get you guys a hostel so you guys can figure out how to make arrangements to get back to where you came from.
Damn,
But
a
who the fuck
hostel,
knows? He
not even
could.
a. Go ahead. I didn't mean to
Yeah, but like
interrupt
I
you.
said, it could have been. It could have been like. It could have been a secret mission or some shit. Who knows? Like, yeah, y'all go ahead prostitute real quick, bring me back some bread or some dumb like that's the way y'all can come back. Like only like he probably said some shit like that. That's not past him. Like, okay, I don't want y'all going, but if y'all go prostitute, maybe y'all can come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're talking about. Okay, so you don't know about any of the women prostituting?
Hell no. I knew Naza, she prostitute before um him meeting him and shit like that. She was talking about how she had a pimp and some more shit. And how she wanted to be pimped out by a lead hoe. She wanted to be one of his hoes.
What? Did Leo have hoes?
Mm, no. But like psychologically, yeah. But not in the terms of what you're speaking, like go out and prostitute for me.
Right. Oh
But she
wow.
wanted to be pimped
Okay.
out by him though. Yeah.
Wow, that's deep. Okay. How did
Hmm.
everyone feel when they seen? Go ahead. What did you say?
I said, mm-hmm.
Okay. How did everyone feel when they seen the video of Musa trying to force himself on Fufu in New York?
New York forcing himself, from what I understood, she was okay with it. From what I knew, and from what she
Right.
said when we got back to Atlanta after the New York situation, because they all went to New York. I stayed in Atlanta. When that situation happened, Caliber was even gone and everything like that. It was just me and some more people, but like in Cookie House or whatever. But like, nah, bruh. From what I understood, she was totally okay with it, totally fine. I heard conversations on the phone where she was basically explaining like she wanted to experience Musa pretty much. So that whole shit is probably a rumor.
Yeah,
But
it appeared that he was forcing himself, but he wasn't, Tone. She was actually okay. She was saying no, and I'm gonna tell you why she was saying no. She was saying no because she didn't know how Alicia was gonna feel about them having sex in that living room.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But not to say that she didn't
They
want it
had to
though.
have
Just because
permission.
yeah, or some shit like that. I don't think it. But I see what you're saying though. I see exactly where you're coming from. Like, oh, he was saying no.
Hmm.
But you gotta understand his perspective too. Like, if cause she sucked that nigga up. So like she sucked that nigga up. So like I don't know, nigga. She probably was just feeling some type of way because she probably felt like a hoe. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to have sex in this living room, especially being fresh away from a leechy hoe. It's like, yeah, I don't think it was rape or no shit like that. But I could see
No,
how.
yeah,
Hmm?
she wasn't pushing him off, denying him like that. It was kind of like a no, not here in front of that camera. You know, if Nature Boy sees us, he's gonna beat us, but we can do it in the bathroom type shit, Tone.
Yeah, like that's the energy I'm
She
seeing
definitely
too.
was the head doctor. See, y'all don't understand behind the scenes, honey. I know for a fact, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pice, but Efru would offer her mouth to a lot of different people, one of which was Nature Boy. She would go to his room and say, "May I service you?" Did y'all know
Yeah,
that?
hell yeah. Yeah, I
Am
knew
I
that.
right or
Hell yeah,
wrong?
she
She
was
was
right
the
as fuck.
head doctor, baby.
Hmm. She definitely was type shit.
I didn't know shit. I thought y'all knew, honey. I know of a certain
Mm-hmm.
instance. I was on a video call. I was on a video call. I'm not gonna tell y'all who I was on a video call with in the tribe, but I was on a video call, and Nature Boy was Caliper came and asked permission to get head from Efru, and he said, "Yeah, nigga, go ahead." And Caliper got his sucked up by Efru. Now let's wake that up. Efru was the head doctor. That was the thing that her and Velvet, they said had the best head in the tribe.
Y'all crazy as hell for that one. Hell yeah, though. He would be like, nigga, I need head every night. And she would come through.
Mm-hmm. She will he wouldn't even have to ask her. She would say, "May I service you?"
Ah, you stupid as fuck,
Honey,
Sherry. You dumb as shit.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. See, you didn't know I knew I. Okay, y'all. So what I want to do is because there are some things I gotta I'm gonna organize my questions because they're out of order because I want to get back into the things and I want to get back on the timeline that I have. So I do want to end this part here and we're gonna continue the next part tomorrow. Hopefully at the same time. People who have already paid, you don't have to pay anymore. If anybody else wants to get in, of course they have to send a little CA. Did True express being upset with Nature Boy while having to take Ja while Sheba was with Nature Boy? That's a good question.
Man, this nigga had his. Well, if he. I know for a fact he withheld
He was hurt.
all of those emotions and then took them out on everybody else except Nature Boy and Sheba. Like, he didn't. I mean, he didn't express those feelings to Nature Boy, but he expressed his frustration in other ways. It wasn't like he blatantly was like,
Any water in there?
huh?
Oh,
What
I'm
you say?
sorry. I'm sorry. Let me mute. No, go ahead. Finish answering the question. I'm going on mute real quick. Finish answering the question.
Yeah, this. So basically, when the situation popped off, he never was like, fuck you, Nature Boy. But he definitely was upset about the situation. And his actions showed that. Like, he would be more agitated. He would drink more. He would be more aggressive and shit like that towards everybody else. And everybody could tell that you're misdirecting energy. Like, to the point where, to the point where, I was about to, I fought the nigga. I fought, like, him, Solar. I fought him, Solar at the fucking same time. Because niggas was misdirecting energy. Because what's the name going through the same situation as Aaron? Solar was going through the same situation as Aaron. Only difference was Zoka was pregnant. So like both of them was kind of
Yeah.
misdirecting energy. Both of them was misdirecting energy, treating people like whatever they wanted to feel. And I'm not okay with that shit. And like niggas try to make me do some push-ups. Well, first of all, I addressed both of them. Like me, it was everybody, but really it was me. It was my idea. Really, like nigga, we should not be letting these motherfuckers right here treat us like any type of way. Like we don't give a fuck. Like that's something they gotta go like deal
Yeah.
with or whatnot. But like we not about to sit here and allow this type of behavior just because what's the name not around and they're going through some shit. You better sit there and talk about that shit and be mature. Like you ain't about to sit here and misdirect energy and be like hateful, spiteful towards people that are just trying to do what we do normally. Like you ain't about to sit here and do that. So I ended up fighting both of them at the same time.
Okay. Wow, that's deep. That is really deep. Okay, Thoughty
Mhm.
said, yep, it's a video of them confronting Solar for misdirecting his anger when Zoka was prego. Okay. And Black Beauty, I answered your question as far as did Nature Boy make you say you're bisexual? He said yes, that he was trolling. Okay. How did the men really feel when Eligio took their wives back and forth? That's the last question, by the way, you guys.
Man, motherfuckers was hurt. Motherfuckers was like at that point, at maybe the second, third time, people was numb at that point. But the first time, motherfuckers was hurt. It kind of hurt every time, but like it just got more and more numb, more and more like, bruh, this is fucking stupid. I'm not about to sit here and we know your little pattern, my nigga. We know what you about to do. You about to try to take the women back, like so motherfuckers was not even trying to get involved with them. You know what I mean? Like that. Even though it may have looked like something online, that was just him manipulating to get somebody back. You know what I mean? If he gave the women away, it wasn't because he was like trying to give them away. It was because he either was upset with them or he was trying to get somebody else, for example, like Velvet,
Yeah,
back,
give me a little water.
pro- promising of monogamy and shit like that. But motherfuckers was definitely hurt at first because some of them women didn't come for him. Some of them women did not come for him at all.
Yeah, a lot of them said that they didn't come from. They said he was a sugar daddy. But anyways, we're gonna move on past that comment. Okay, how did Nature Boy really feel when he seen Velvet show up at the other tribe as the young man's woman?
Well, obviously that was her first little get back situation. She was trying to get her lick back for all the bullshit, most likely. Obviously, the nigga was hurt. The nigga was thinking, motherfucker was trying to get her get back, and he was goddamn upset. Like, oh, he tried to misdirect the energy onto the bull, but really he was mad about her.
Wow, that was her first get back. Okay.
All right, y'all. So that was part one and part two. Y'all get ready for part three of Armand Palmer, aka Pice's interview.
All right, everybody, welcome. So, Pice, when we left off last, I had asked you a few questions, and we skipped around a little bit, but I want to get back into, um, I want to go back before Hawaii and when you guys left, because you guys were in the United States and then you went to Hawaii, right? Hey, Fluid.
You said we was back in the United States and then went to Hawaii. Is that what you asked?
Right, because you left. Was it? Did you leave? If
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. Leave Puerto Rico, came to the United States, and then went to Hawaii because you guys at that point he was trying to figure out where were you guys gonna go, right?
Nah, nah. We went to United States and then we went to Hawaii. Then we went back to the United States.
Well, Hawaii is the United States, my love.
But I'm saying though, like we didn't go to Puerto Rico. That's what I'm trying to say. Hawaii was
Oh,
before Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying?
right. Okay. So where were you at before Hawaii? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Oh, that's what you. Oh, we was like a couple different places. We was just chilling in like Cali, chilling in uh, where else was we at?
Baja.
Like Las Vegas, like Cali, uh, South Carolina, all types of different places. We was just chilling. But that was before. It was just
Okay.
all throughout. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So before Hawaii, what country were you in?
The USA.
No, I'm talking about before you guys got back to the United States, my love.
Oh, I think Panama.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Why did you guys leave Panama?
We
I am almost certain that Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, left because of his paranoia with the police.
just decided to leave because the police was on our ass. So we was like, we were just gonna leave.
What were the police on your ass about? Can you recall?
They really wasn't too informative. You know what I mean? They just kind of rated us and then needed information and shit like that. Like, what's your name? Type shit. Where you from? Type shit. Fingerprints.
Harassing
What the
you.
fuck you doing? Yeah, type shit. That type shit.
Okay. All right. And during this time, we had discussed previously before Eligio, his drinking was increasing at this time. And you said he was becoming more and more violent also as
I mean, it
well.
was always bad.
Uh,
I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's like I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know, nigga. Like they just must have thought he was getting away with it or some shit. I don't know. But yeah,
what do you mean by that?
Y'all niggas stupid. Hold up, but yeah, it was just like I don't know. It's like I guess he thought he was getting away with it. Here you
He thought he was getting away with what pies?
go. All the little shit he do, type shit. His ways and all that. Oh, but I
Okay.
guess he just, got comfortable. I would put it in more simple terms. I guess he got comfortable. You know what I mean? But his drinking problem was always there. I guess he
Um,
drank shit.
so as you guys moved around, he got more comfortable. Okay, so at what country were you in when you guys first started coming on Big O? When he left IG and he
Um,
came to Big O.
I'm really not too sure. I'm not too sure.
Okay. I know you guys were in another country, and I believe it was Puerto Rico, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It could have been further back, to be honest with you.
It was Puerto Rico, because he had got in trouble with Big O because he was calling himself an American host. But that's another story because I see maybe you don't know about him getting in trouble with Big O.
It was always reports like constantly. It was always like, you banned for this amount of time, you banned for this amount of time, you banned for this
Hmm.
amount of time. So I ain't really was paying attention to what the fuck was it. It might have been like, it might have been stuff on camera, but like the specific time you're talking about, I don't know. But he definitely got banned all the time, so it was always rules he was breaking, but I don't know which one you talking
Okay.
about. I wasn't like
Okay. So.
present for that shit because a lot of the times I was doing other things. I wasn't always paying attention to lives and shit like that because we were doing other things. You know what I mean? Music, recording, mixing, uh, all different type of different shit, videos, editing, thumbnails, a lot of different shit was going on. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas not always paying attention to the shit. Right, y'all might think, but not really.
Hmm. Okay. So when he left to come to Atlanta and left you guys in in Puerto Rico, what prompted the young woman getting beaten? The young
I don't
girl.
know what you talking about.
When he got the new, when he had Avir, when Avir came over,
Yeah,
and
you gotta
Isis,
recall.
when Avir came over, Isis, Jax, when everybody, when he was getting the new group of people that came to Puerto Rico,
Oh,
he left Puerto Rico and he went to the United States, but he left you guys there. What prompted
right.
the beating of Isis?
What do you know about that situation?
Y'all, why is he asking her what she knows about the situation? Just answer the question.
She said she was beaten and jumped by a number of the carbonation members
Did you
because
did she say what happened?
she said this is what she said, and she said she was arguing with Efru and Zoka, I believe, and she made mentions about a knife and what she would do, and they took it as a
And then they,
threat, and they called Eligio, and Eligio beat her ass,
well, damn.
and
So what's your
True
question
was
about
there as
that?
well. So my question is, what actually prompt? That's just what we heard. What actually prompted her
That's what
being
happened.
jumped on?
That's what happened.
Okay, can you tell me in your words?
Like literally what you just said is what I was gonna say.
So you were present there when she got jumped on. Did anybody try to
Nah,
stop
but
it?
nah, I wasn't present for none.
Okay, y'all, I'm really starting to side eye Pice, aka Armand, because how is it that he is never present for any of these fights, beatings, or much of the abuse? Maybe heard of it, but never seen it. I feel that he is simply trying to distance himself.
That I was just saying, like, I know what you're talking about, type shit, and that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. So the women jumped on her, or the women and men.
Nah, I don't know if I don't know if any guys were present or no shit like that, but from what I know, women only. You can ask the women, but they would know.
Okay. Okay. So, well, let's talk about you more or less. Let's go to you. In the song, Mama Nine stated that you were jumped by the disciples of Christ
Oh yeah,
when
I
she
fucking
made that
hey man,
country.
niggas be tripping sometimes, man. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Check niggas' chins and shit like that. Yeah, I done got jumped before. Yeah, on some, I was fighting niggas like what the fuck. And then somebody say some shit that's not right. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Okay. So when they use the words jump, do they mean one more than one person would jump on you and put their hands on you, or was it just a one-on-one fade?
It'd be 101 phase, and then sometimes it'd be like some people might jump in or whatever. Some people not really like trying to break it up. Some people trying to break it up, shit like that. But I don't know. It was never no like, oh, let's just fuck this nigga up. I was always the one starting the shit. To be honest with you, on purpose.
Okay. All right. So I have a question. At any time during carbonation, I want you to think about the memories that you have. What was your happiest moment there, and what was your lowest moment there?
My lowest moment had to be like,
I
uh,
said your happiest as well.
oh, my happiest moment and my lowest moment. Well, my happiest moment would
Yeah.
be me. I don't know. That's a tough one. I had a lot of good memories. I had so many good memories. I don't know. There was a lot of good shit that happened. Like,
Hmm.
but
Can you share with us?
you know what?
Can you share with us?
Yeah, a lot of good shit happened. Like, it was like you gotta think like miles and miles of like fruit trees just available for free. Kind of like acorns be dropping on the ground. Like, imagine like hella fruits on the ground and shit like that, and the trees and shit like that. Waterfalls and shit, animals, the nature aspect of it. Um, the lifestyle was great. It was just like there was nothing bad about the lifestyle, like on some shit. But music, making music, getting all that experience in the studio for all those
Hmm.
years was very good for my growth as an artist and shit like that. And it's just like, yeah, that shit was good for me. A lot of wisdom came from it too because of all the bad that happened. So it was like it's a lot of shit that made me happy about the shit, but like the bad shit, the worst moment that could ever probably happen was like I don't fucking know. Whatever point it was when I decided to stay had to be the fucked up most fucked up moment. Whatever moment it was where I was like, yeah, I'm just completely like I'm gonna do this type shit. That's probably I don't know when it was, but that moment right there.
Mm. At any point in time, did you feel like you didn't want to be here?
I
You
mean,
didn't
yeah,
want to
plenty of
be.
times. Yeah, of course, of course. There were times where I was like, man, I don't want to be here right now. I would rather be somewhere else at this moment rather than
Mhm.
being here. I would rather be somewhere else, elsewhere.
Okay. So what prompted those feelings? Because you're describing things of, at this point, you're describing things, you were in paradise, beautiful
I mean,
trees.
not really. Nah, I mean, I didn't say that. I didn't go that far. You know what I mean? I said there were good things about it that I appreciated and I'm grateful for the experiences, but there was also bad things as well. And I gained wisdom from those bad things. But the most fucked up part about it is that I stayed. But the part that you're talking about that prompted the feelings of wanting to be elsewhere, those feelings were just prompted from like regular thoughts because it was just like I was tired of always working on something, doing something in the studio or doing something or like for I don't know online or editing or stuff like that. Like it just gets rigorous over time. So it's like I would love to be going somewhere else other than being right here right now in this moment. So yeah, I had those feelings. It was just work, you know what I mean? Like not willing to work, work hard, you know, have fun at the same time simultaneously. So it's like I wasn't getting that balance like I was supposed to, and that's not healthy. So like yeah, like nigga was just like wanted to be elsewhere at the time. Sometimes I would go to the studio and shit like that to escape or whatever you want to call it, like mentally escape. Sometimes I would go outside, play basketball. Sometimes I would, take a walk or some shit like that. But it was never like it never really felt like what I really wanted. It was like to be away, like you know what I mean. But it was just I don't know. I was going through a lot in those moments, so I really can't come to those conclusions. Like the feelings that were there. I don't know how to explain that shit other than that, but I don't know. It's just yeah, work hard, play hard type shit.
Okay. So, going through these experiences and watching the person who you call Messiah go from being this wonderful teacher into this demon, how did that make you feel?
Made me feel like what the fuck type shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like what the fuck?
What what do you think changed him? What do you think got him away from the knowledge and got him to being the person that we all know now as Eligio?
His own selfish desires.
Do you think sometimes those selfish desires he could have dealt with those demons better?
Man, I don't think there's a way for him to deal with that shit. I think it just is him.
Do you think it's him or his mental psychosis?
I think it's him.
Okay, it's just him. Okay,
Hell
so
yeah.
when you went to Hawaii and you guys went to Hawaii and you knew that there was an ordinance, as far as the turtles and everything, and he was like, fuck it, we gonna do what we want to do. Did you see a problem with that, or
I wasn't aware of that situation. I ain't know nothing.
were you?
First of
Did
all,
you go to Hawaii?
I did not know anything about touching the goddamn turtle. I wasn't even there for that event.
Do y'all remember that fiasco in Hawaii? Let me jog y'all memory.
Yesterday, Big Island police arrested 21 visitors for violating the quarantine order. Nikki Shenfield has more.
When you arrive to Hawaii, you're required now to fill out a form that states where you're staying and a phone number. So Hawaii Tourism Authority or the Hawaii Department of Transportation can follow up with you. Now, according to Hawaii Island Mayor Harry Kim, these individuals weren't answering their phone calls, which helped lead to their arrest. Hawaii Island police arrested 21 people for violating the state's mandatory quarantine. A Hawaii Island woman was also arrested for operating a vacation rental, which is deemed non-essential.
From the documentation that we have and their statements, some of them arrived on the 7th, June 7th, which was Sunday, and some arrived on June 8th, which was Monday.
Police say some of the individuals were seen at a beach park in Hilo the day they arrived. With help from the community and social media, police say they arrested 5 men and 3 women at a residence on Pikake Street in the Fern Forest subdivision of Puna on Wednesday. The following day, 13 others were arrested at a home on Railroad Avenue in the Hawaiian Paradise Park subdivision of Puna. Police say some of those arrested gave different addresses on their forms when arriving into the state. Lieutenant Amon Wilkins said all 21 were part of the same group, and they're still investigating who owns the home in Hawaiian Paradise Park.
Second, nigga, I wasn't even aware that they were live about it. And because I was like, we was on a plane. We didn't have no internet. You know what I mean? I wasn't even there when that happened. Nowhere in the vicinity. There was a couple of people
You
that
were
was
on
nowhere in the vicinity. We were on a plane. We were still arriving. So by the time we got there, we had landed on an island, the island of Hilo. And on the island of Hilo, it had a mayor or a governor or whatever you want to call it, that they had their own rules. And it was like illegal to book an Airbnb. So we got arrested because we didn't book an Airbnb.
Right.
But
Hold on,
yeah, it was
Pice, for a
like,
minute. Okay, let's keep it going. I have to keep going. All right. So we're in Hawaii. You were in the air. You were on your way to Hawaii when they got in trouble.
yeah,
So by the time you got there, you and Velvet and all you guys, you like, fuck, they're in jail,
nah.
right?
It was like,
No?
nah, it was like we landed there, everything was good. We went to our little Airbnbs, whatever. And then the police came. All the laws that were broken.
Wow. And so, wow, how was that for you?
By then I was
How
used
was
to
that
it,
for you?
to be
Like,
honest
damn.
with you. By then I
So
was
at that
used to
point,
it,
you
you know.
became, damn, I'm going to jail. That's some shit. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So at this point, you like, okay, we got to get this nigga and everybody out of jail again.
right.
Females in there crying and whining, talking about they ready to go home, you know, because I heard about, different situations. So at that point, were you just ready to just say, fuck it, I'm just going to go ahead and go back to my normal life? Or were you still willing to write it out at that point in time?
I was
Thank you, babe.
still I was still riding. I was still on the knowledge and all that shit. I was still committed to like pushing the message and through the music and all that shit at that point in
Okay.
time. Yeah, that's what it was.
All right. So you guys, now let's fast. I jumped around a little bit. You guys were in Puerto Rico. Eligio left you guys in Puerto Rico. He went to Atlanta. Why he went back to Puerto Rico to visit you guys and he left and went back to Atlanta again, but he left you guys there. Why did you guys all have to leave the compound in Puerto Rico and go to Pennsylvania?
Wait. You said why did we go to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, why did you went from Puerto Rico to Pennsylvania?
Well, we went to Puerto Rico to Pennsylvania, not on rip. We did not go there on rip. We was like in different places like Atlanta, uh, where else was we at? New York. We was in different places. Like we didn't go straight there. That was just kind of
Oh,
I don't know where
yeah.
y'all got the information from. Y'all be making shit up. That should be hilarious to me.
Y'all didn't make anything up. I'm asking a question because I'm trying to build a timeline. So so let me rephrase the question then.
Why don't you just ask me the time? Like, I can give you the from square one all the way to
Okay, so
one.
then give me the timeline. What I'm asking is why did he go to Atlanta and leave you guys at that compound?
What compound? In
The
Puerto
one
Rico?
in Puerto Rico. Yes. Why did
We
he only take
all
the wives?
I guess we only had the bread for that at that moment or whatever, but we were whatever you want to call it, deported or traveled shortly after.
Okay. Right, Tone, but I want to hear it come from his mouth, baby. Okay. So he didn't have money to take everybody with him um to Atlanta, so you guys stayed there, right? Why did you guys have to leave? Why did everybody have to leave from that area, from that house?
From Puerto Rico,
Yes.
we just decided to leave.
The Airbnb, you guys all said, fuck paradise, we're just going to leave.
We all decided to leave, yeah. I don't know if
Well,
there's an alternative reason that you know about, but from my
no, no,
understanding,
no, no,
yeah,
no. I'm just
there was no.
asking why would you guys, because I know you guys always said you wanted to stay in the tropics, but then everybody jumped up and left the tropics. And I was like, well, why would they leave the tropics?
We was on a lot of different stuff. You know, he switched up the knowledge a lot, so there was a lot of stuff he talked about, you know, living amongst the the people of like the Indian people and stuff like that, and being in tune with that. But it's like a lot of different.
Why is that everywhere Carbonation and Legio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, went? there was always a problem. Like, that's just crazy to me.
A lot of shit he switched up, but long story short, it wasn't no bad reason we left or nothing like that. Like that was like the least amount of police we've ever had. I think like there,
Mm-hmm.
like no,
Right.
we really did not get bothered or nothing like that there at all. Like really ever. Like maybe once, and it was like on some real simple woo doo woo blah blah blah, hey bye type of situation. It's like we really was like we good type shit.
Okay. So what made you guys all go to Gaggett's house?
There was a studio out here called Sapphire that we all wanted to make music at and shit with what's his name? What is his name? Spiritual Soul? Not Spiritual Soul, that's somebody else. What that name is? It's an artist out here. What is his name? Hold up, I gotta remember real quick. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Hey, goddess.
Free Soul, that's his name. Free motherfucking Soul. We was doing music with Free Soul and shit like that. We was trying to link up out here. Lil Uzi was doing a concert. We performed at the A&P house out here.
Oh, really?
It was lit type shit. We came out here. Lil Uzi was and what's his name? What's that nigga name? What is his name? That nigga that Corvette. What's that nigga? I don't know his
So you
name,
guys
but
doing
Lil Uzi and the
concert?
other nigga, some other dude. But yeah, they was all performing out here. We were just making a lot of musical connections and then like trying to do open houses and stuff like that. Networking.
Okay. So you guys were doing concerts and stuff. Okay, so that's productive. Okay, so when you guys were there, who devised the plan of we're just going to leave carbonation and do our own thing? Who devised that plan?
I mean,
Was
that's just
that a
gossip
group
type shit. That's really just all gossip. It was just like motherfuckers
that
really
came
just
out
was
of
on some
Solar's
type like, huh? What was that?
that came out of
What did you just
Solar's
say?
mouth? Solar said that you guys all came in. Can you hear me? I don't, let me make sure you can hear me. Solar said that you guys all, you, Aaron, Musa. Well, maybe you weren't included, but he did say you were included. He said you guys all came up with a plan that you guys were going to leave. But you're saying that's
Mm,
gossip. But
mm. Yeah, that might be gossip
you
because
guys
I
never.
don't recall. I don't recall all of us being there. I recall like it being in the air, like motherfuckers feeling that way, but not like an official. Let's all gather up and sit here and plot and plan to leave, shit like that. Maybe they had one to the side, but if I was there, I don't recall. You got to refresh me.
A
I
part
don't
of it.
remember. That's why I said that might just be gossip because like that's just
Okay.
talk. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So who was all at the house in Pennsylvania at Gaggett's house? Who was all there at his house?
I don't really remember. It was a lot of people that came and went for like people that I don't even know.
I
Me,
mean, as
I
far as
was there.
tribe.
What's the name came? He came at one point, so it was like at one
Who?
point it was like a lot of people there because what's the name came at one point.
Who? Who's what's the name?
I'm talking about Aaliyah.
He came to visit or he was there?
Both,
Okay. While he still had the house in Atlanta, right?
I believe so.
Okay, y'all. So Pice really seriously wants us to believe that he didn't know where the Messiah, where his God was. I call bullshit, y'all. I'm calling it.
But I don't really know
Okay. Okay, I want to stop the
where that
interview
nigga.
right now. Are you busy? It sounds like you're busy and you're not really focused.
No, I'm focused.
Okay, are we good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because you're being a little evasive too with the with the questions, and I'm sure the comments can, you're being a little evasive with the questions because at times that I know definitely I went back and viewed some footage when I knew you guys were there. That's why I'm asking the questions that I'm asking. But you're saying you weren't there,
What are you
so I
talking about?
really want to listen to what I'm saying. The questions that I asked, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, The main thing I want to do with you is build a timeline and build a timeline of events of things that happened that took place and the things versus what the public has heard and what you know to be true and what we've seen on camera. So
Uh,
that's what I really want to get down to the bottom of.
well, why don't you lay down the events, and then I
Okay.
can give you
So
a
let's do
timeline.
this. Okay, so the one event that I wanted to discuss was a young woman getting jumped on ISIS. When you guys were in Puerto Rico, she got on the plane. When she got to the airport, she was talking about everybody jumped her. She said everybody jumped her.
Nah, ain't no everybody. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. She
Okay.
just talking shit.
Okay. And then not only did she get jumped, but I can't remember who it was, but didn't somebody else get jumped in Puerto Rico as well?
You talking about me, nigga?
Oh, did you get jumped in Puerto Rico on Eligio's command? It was I know it was on Eligio's command.
No, it was not. It was not.
So you didn't get
I told you.
okay, she got
I
jumped
told
on
you.
Eligio's
I,
command.
if they called him and he said that, yeah, I guess so. But I don't know if they called. All I know is what she said and what everybody upstairs
And
said.
you had a
And it
fight.
pretty much
You had a
matches
fight
up. But
in Puerto Rico, right?
yeah, I fought. Yeah,
Okay. So you had the fight. You also had a fight in Vegas as well, right?
nah,
Okay. So you never got into a fight in Vegas.
nah. I never like squared up with nobody. Might hit somebody in the chest, some shit like that. But like no shit like where it's like, oh yeah, we straight up fighting or no shit like that. Not in
Okay.
Vegas. Nah, I ain't get to a fight until like an actual fight until like Puerto Rico. I ain't fighting nobody. And it
Okay.
wasn't on nobody command either. It was off my own decisions, actions.
Okay. Okay. So this is what I do want to ask. Okay. So the Pennsylvania, you said there was never a concrete plan of you guys all getting
No, I
together and
don't know
leaving.
what the fuck niggas is talking about with that shit right there. I don't know what the fuck niggas came up with a goddamn mirage in their fucking head or like this, they coming from Solar, man. Come on now. I don't know if
Right. Well,
motherfuckers
Solar's
like
not the
met
only
up
one
and
that
had
said it.
a mystery plan or some shit like that. I don't know if motherfuckers had a
No,
goddamn,
Aaron said it too.
well, they must have had a goddamn mystery plan to goddamn leave that did not include me type shit. It's
Okay. So
real talk.
when
It
okay,
was
so let me ask
18,
this
nigga. That sound like
question.
18. That sound like 18. They had a little 18 meeting. That's what it sound like. That's what that shit sound like. I told y'all it was A and B team. I told y'all.
Right. And you were part of the B team, correct?
Yeah, I'm telling you, motherfuckers, the musicians and shit like that. They was handling other like other shit, but like I'm telling you, bro, nigga,
Yeah.
motherfuckers had a mystery meeting. Everything motherfuckers in the loop. Nope, not today. That shit did not happen in my in my books. They must have had a plan or whatever. Like I said, it was in the air though. Like shit was nigga was definitely knowing niggas thinking about the shit. Like that shit's peep game type shit. But anyways, they must have had a little
Okay.
18 meeting about that shit.
So they must
Yeah.
have had a separate plan. So when you guys got so from my understanding, Solar they were supposed to go to one of his people's house, and the girl was like, "No, all y'all not coming here. I thought it was only you," and she said no. So from that point, you guys, what made you guys go to the house in Atlanta? Because he said you guys had no alternative and nowhere else to go but to go to the house in Atlanta when you left Gaggett's house.
I mean, technically we all had options, but I guess we all decided to stay together.
Right. So at that point in time, the people that wanted to leave could have left.
Anybody could have left at any time.
Now, we all know that there are some exceptions to what he's saying. Like, for instance, Velvet couldn't leave when she wanted to, Janae, Malia, as well as Joy. The entire tribe and Nature Boy confronted her when she tried to leave with her baby.
Wow. What about the women? They could have left at any time too.
I mean, yeah, they could have left at any time, but it's like you just have to be really strong-minded, because he's gonna try to trick you into not wanting to leave. But that's a whole other story. But anyone was allowed to leave at any point, any given time,
Well,
any given time.
when Tori was trying to leave, I seen on a video where Tron was literally holding her. They took her phone, they took the SIMS card out of her phone, and they would not let her leave. So she could have left willingly. Why would they go through those extremes of doing that?
I don't know. When was this? You give me a
This
timeline?
was this is when I think this is before, just before you came.
Okay, I'm gonna have to call BS on this too because I have footage showing that Pisces was right there when Joy was trying to leave. Now he's sitting up here on this interview acting like he didn't have a clue about what happened.
How is this your room if you're trying to leave?
This is my room until I leave.
Yeah. Okay.
Until I leave. So I'm thankful.
The fact of the matter
You
is-
goofy.
the
You
fact of
so
the matter is,
goofy.
Lauren, that we all came together.
I know your feelings was hurt because of what I said on live. I get it, but it's the truth.
No, not her.
Excuse myself.
But Joy, we love you.
Excuse myself. Go get the keys. Please, I'm not about to sit here and have another speech with you. So please go get the keys.
It's about me fighting for my daughter.
Please go get the keys. Please go get the keys.
You really doing this? You taking my daughter from me, bro?
Please go get the keys.
Say so, really?
Are y'all screen recording?
Please screen record.
And keep
bro.
calling.
Everybody real.
Please go get the keys.
Everybody real's going.
Please go get the keys.
Point blank, period, yo. I didn't
Please
do
go
nothing
get the
wrong.
keys.
I didn't do nothing wrong. You see what the system allows for you to? If the system didn't exist,
Now we
this
blaming the
shit
system
wouldn't even
for
be allowed,
his
my nigga.
inability.
This shit is crazy.
I'm not walking to the neighbors. They about to take me down the
This
hill.
is crazy, bro.
And Chief wants to have another meeting. You know, he just had an hour meeting before this. Here's Sheba still recording.
We're trying to keep our families together.
Girl, stop. Girl, stop. You goofy.
That's wrong.
You know what family is.
You wrong.
Are you gonna get the key so I can leave? Stop touching her. Yes, no, Jada, stop touching her now. I don't trust y'all. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. No, leave her alone. At this point, like you asked me, I had it on video, New. You said you wanted to come in, that you wanted to come in the room and get your stuff. You came in with a group of people, and y'all walking up on me. Chief, no, Chief, don't talk to me unless you here. You ran away, so continue to be gone. Please go get the keys. Please go.
Now, as you can see, Pice is standing right there in that red circle. He was indeed there. So I'm calling bullshit, y'all. He bullshitting the whole interview.
Before I came?
Yeah, I think this is just before you came. See if you guys, Jesus. Okay, so you said there was no concrete plan to leave. You guys left Gaggett's house and then you guys went to Atlanta. Now, did you feel comfortable in Atlanta when you got there?
You said what?
Did you feel comfortable in Atlanta when you got there?
For the most part, yeah. Like, what you
How
mean,
did you
like,
feel?
in terms of what? Like, in terms of what?
Let me go
Like,
on.
was it a place to
Let me go on.
stay? Was it like a place to sleep? Shit like that?
No, I mean, did you feel comfortable as far as Eligio and his theatrics? Because it looked like at that point in time, thank you, baby, he was becoming more theatrical. You know, like when him, the women were all dressed in white, and him and Cyanetta did the interview. You know, at that point in time, it looked like he was becoming more theatrical. You know, he had the wife come in, the trans wife, and all that. So with him being in that mindset, saying that he was going in and out of the three God and all that, how did you feel about all of that going on?
I was like, this thing gotta be trolling. Can't be serious. Unbelievable. Cannot be serious. He's not serious. I know he's not. That's what I was thinking.
Now, on
He must be
camera
doing this shit.
for trolling. Okay, I get it. So on camera, was there a different Eligio than off camera at that point in time?
No.
He was the same person.
Yeah, pretty much. Towards the end, yeah.
So he would sit there and act like he was going in and out of this phase of being one person versus the next in front of you guys, and he was serious.
I was like, this nigga cannot be serious.
What about
You're
when he was
joking.
crying from what about when he was crying to my love, love, all there is love? Was he on drugs?
You gotta be fucking joking.
When he was crying in the camera, talking about love, love, all there is love, love. All that crying
Jokes.
and shit he was doing
Bro, let
that
me
was
tell you. I'm so serious. I'm thinking this nigga joking, right? This nigga called us one morning. This nigga called us in the middle of the morning one time. Like 6 o'clock, it's a meeting. This nigga started doing that dumb shit. Nigga, I get to laughing out loud, right quiet. I'm laughing my ass off. Like, dying. Like, this nigga cannot be serious, bro. This nigga can't be serious. I started dying. I'm trying to tell you. This is what I'm thinking. I'm like, he's acting. There's no way he's serious. This is a joke.
Was it a joke?
That's what I'm saying. Of course, not now. Looking at hindsight, I'm talking about how I was perceiving it in the moment. Like, this nigga gotta be joking. He's acting for the
What?
views. Like, he sees the shit going up, so he's doing this shit. Like, this nigga's controlling the view count, like some shit. This nigga's trolling, and he trying to troll us, thinking we stupid. Like nigga, we're not dumb. You're trolling. Like, you're not actually serious. I was dying the whole time. How long he can keep it up? But I was like, yeah, I guess this nigga is actually, bipolar and schizophrenic, all that shit, like all that dumb ass PTSD ass shit, mental illness ass shit. You know what I mean? He got all of that shit. But it's like,
So he
yeah,
wasn't on drugs during any of that? He was just smoking weed?
you said what? Maybe that triggered it a little bit
Was he
more.
on drugs?
Well,
Maybe you
duh,
can't hear
you
me. I'm
seen.
asking.
Why are you asking me that? Yo, I've been
No,
peeping.
I'm
You've been asking
asking,
me a lot
was
of
he on
questions that you
drugs?
already know. You ask a lot of
No.
questions that you already know. I be like, ask me something that
But
you don't really know.
listen, it's not me. This is not for me. This is for the audience. This isn't for me.
But even then, no, don't take the audience's dumb
They don't
questions
know. They don't
obvious.
know if he was on drugs. And if he was on drugs, what drugs was he on?
The ones that you showed, you know what I'm saying? Like weed, they weed and alcohol. If you consider that a drug, I guess.
Marijuana is from the earth. I don't consider it a drug.
You said what?
Marijuana is from the earth. I don't consider it a drug.
That was it. That's it. Alcohol, weed. That's it.
Okay. So he wasn't taking anybody else's medication.
No.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people were told that he was taking in medication when people would come into the camp, and they had different medication, mental medication, psychotropics, whatever. He was actually.
Man, where you hear this from?
Hold on a minute. Can you hear me? Members of your camp. They said when the medication was being checked in, one person in particular said when the medication was being checked in, he had all the medication and he was taking it. Not all of it, but he was taking some of it. So, like, if I were to go there and I had my Ativan with me and, maybe another psychotropic, if he wanted to take it, he would take it. So that's why I'm asking you, was he on drugs? And if so, which drugs was he on? But you're saying it was only marijuana and alcohol. But I've never known marijuana and alcohol make you act like that.
He could have been on a lot more shit. Now that I think about it, you know what I mean? A lot of this shit was concealed. The information that you may have known, but me being there, it was happening right under my nose. So it's like, I don't know. That sounds like something that if you think about it, he could have like took a lot. He could have ran a lot of people's pockets. It's a lot more than medicine. He could have took. Could have took a lot of different shit. People
Yeah.
belongings, type of shit, clothing, goddamn,
Mm-hmm.
electronics, all type of shit. He could finesse. Like you know what I mean. You could talk about drones. You talk about all different type of things. He could have took other than just drugs. If you think about it. So he could have been thieving everybody and taking everybody drugs. Think about it.
Okay. I apologize for that. That's true. I agree with you on that. Okay, so now as he's getting more crazier as the days go on, you're seeing his psychosis come out. Um, is this when you start getting to the point, or what point? When did you start getting to the point where it was like, I got to go?
When he went to jail.
I can't. The day he went to jail, is that when it was?
Like around that time, like around that era.
Just before he went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your breaking point?
I don't know if there was a specific one. It was just over the years.
A build up.
Yeah.
What sign are you, if you don't mind me asking? I never asked you that.
Pisces.
Hence Pisces. Okay,
Period.
I get it. I get it. But I'm saying that because now I get your mood and everything. My daughter is a Pisces, by the way, my youngest daughter. So, did you ever develop any habits while being there as far as, marijuana or alcohol?
Not really. I was very disciplined, still am. I just kind of developed working inside of a studio. I developed that habit working on my craft.
Mm, okay. Let's get into a few other things. Have you ever witnessed him getting angry where he threw away somebody's meal and wouldn't allow them to eat?
It was really always the opposite because he was always worried about everybody else thinking he was doing that. So I don't think that's in his idea of like success. That's a good chess move to not feed you because you could easily turn around and blame that on him and have proof. He just always overfed us. But like I said in the other video, the reason people looked the way they looked is because they was going through mental stress.
Mm. Okay, so when Zoka was pregnant, have you ever witnessed her food being thrown away?
Hell no, they got extra, 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 extra specific snacks, meals, drinks, and everything else if you were pregnant. Or just in
Hmm.
general, you would get all that type of shit. So I don't know what the fuck that is. I've never, ever, ever, ever seen that. That's a made up story.
Okay, that was a made up story. So, but he was giving her alcohol.
Now, from what our solar said to me, what I heard about what you said earlier, yeah,
Hmm.
I've never seen this actually
But
happen.
you never witnessed it.
When, yeah, not with my own eyes, no. But I do not doubt it at
So,
all.
So, what Pice, aka Armand, is trying to actually state is that he lived with these people for 4 years, but he's picking and choosing instances in which he can be implicated. So, he's trying to distance himself from all of the fuckery.
hmm
Yeah, I do not doubt it at all, and I think that it did happen. If that matters at
hmm
all, but yeah, I think that all those things did go down the way they said they went down. And from what you heard, just putting two together, this type of character, I think that that shit definitely went down. Yeah, I just shit fucked up. For real.
okay, so a lot of questions that I'm asking you, you're saying that you've never.
Yeah, because I'm trying to beat it through your head that it was an 18 and a
Y'all, I'm not buying what he's selling. Living in close quarters with all those people for all that time, and he was on the B team, so he didn't know anything. I'm calling bullshit again.
fucking B team.
I
Sorry, my
get it
lady.
now, and I get the B
I'm trying
team.
to beat this
No,
shit
I
through your
get it.
heads. Like a lot of people did not know what the fuck was going on. Like slowly but
Yeah,
surely, I hope y'all get that shit. Like a lot of shit was revealed afterwards because of how manipulative he was. The niggas there didn't even know what the fuck was going on. Duh. I keep trying to tell y'all.
so,
Not to you,
so if
but
you
the questions that they're
right,
asking, I'm trying to beat it through their heads. Like, nigga, yeah, if there's somebody there and say, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I just still don't fucking know. Nigga, I'm finding out with you. You heard?
damn, that's deep right there. That's real deep. So that leads me to believe. So if you seen him slap the shit out of Malia or um do something to one of the women, you just would have happened to have been there at that particular moment. But that wasn't something an everyday occurrence that you seen.
Absolutely not. Hell no. If I seen that every goddamn day, that would be fucking ridiculous for me to stay. I left. I got the fuck up out of there if I seen shit like that. I'd be dumb. But it was so like how I ever seen it happen. Like it's like it would be like I seen a video of Velvet throwing a plate at this nigga,
Hmm.
picked it up, and I didn't see what happened before, but I'm pretty sure he hit her before that situation. So it's like the mug or whatever was thrown at this nigga was like retaliation, but like or like the time where he snatched a baby or some shit like happened. I was on a walkie. I was called, so like I seen the aftermath of the situation. Like y'all don't be understanding. Like it's like niggas don't be
Right. So
around.
came in a lot of times after shit
Yeah,
was
y'all
taking
be
place. Like, god
damn,
damn, now I gotta
shit.
clean this shit up.
I'm trying to tell
Right.
you. I'm trying to tell you.
I get it now. I definitely get it. So, at any instance while you were there, have you ever witnessed a beating? Him slapping the shit out of one of the women? Um, not
He
have you
always was telling
heard,
the
but have
niggas to
you
slap
seen it?
her. They'd be like, slap the shit out them. They'll be like, yeah, they'll just slap the shit out of them. They'll be like, yeah, slap her, slap that bitch, and then whoever he's talking to will slap whoever he's trying to get slapped or like.
And that would be considered abuse by proxy. Nature Boy would regularly order the men and women to hit each other, and they did so under his orders.
And they'll just smack the shit out of them like off the command. That shit's so fucking bogus, bro. That shit's so fucking bogus. I'm so sorry, like that,
Damn.
cause that shit is so crazy. It's unbelievable, bro.
Right. Thinking about
Cause
it now and looking back,
this nigga, I'm like, dog, oh my god,
like, did he really just do that? Right.
yeah, unbelievable, bro.
Okay. So let's talk about the days leading up to his arrest. Okay, the days leading up to his arrest, Solar went to hey Cookie Chronic babe, this is a private interview, baby. Solar went to uh Vegas to go find you guys a place, supposedly. Um had you ever heard, because you said you didn't witness, have you ever heard about any of the women, him sending any of the women to LA to go do pornos or prostitute or anything and then come back?
Never. That sounds ridiculous, but it does not sound outside of his character. I've never heard that,
Okay.
but
Do you
it
know
sounds like something he would do.
do you know of any of the men prostituting?
Nah,
Okay. Now, I'm gonna ask you another question, and you might think it's funny. I don't know. Do you know about Solar's nudes that Fifi had?
who the hell is Fifi? Who's that?
Fifi is the lady that Eligio was dealing with, the crazy lady with the glasses. I think you guys called her Felicia, but her name also was Fifi.
Crazy lady with the glass.
Mm-hmm. Fifi. Shall I pull a
Oh,
video up of her?
Fifi on Bigo. I know what
Yes,
you're talking about.
Fee. Yes.
Got you. What about that? What about that? That's their
I
business.
said, do you? Okay,
Nah,
so
I
do
don't.
you know of Solar prostituting or selling pictures, or have any of the other men prostituted and sold pictures of themselves to anybody?
Damn, hell no.
You said no,
Yeah, I
so you
said
don't
no.
know if any of the men.
Hell
So you
no.
don't know. Okay, so you don't know if any of the men. Well, I just kicked people. Lulu got kicked out, and so did somebody else. Okay, so you don't know if any of the other men. So I got naked pictures
Why you
of.
got naked pictures?
Listen, I got them from a person that Solar sent them to. He sold her the pictures and she sent them to me for money
My good Jesus.
while being in carbonation. That's why I asked, was anybody else doing that shit?
God damn, you got pictures of people. God
Right. They send me everything. They send me
Jesus
videos,
Christ.
pictures, all kind of shit. I get everything.
Damn, Jesus. Anyways,
Yeah. So he was the only one selling his naked pictures. Okay, I get it. Okay, so up to the days leading up to when you guys were leaving, um, the Musa and Solar both told me that, they had decided to leave. Were you guys all supposed to leave together or separately and go to
who
Mexico?
who
When
who
just
was you
before
guys?
Eligio got you, Solar, and Musa.
Mm-hmm. We were supposed to go to Mexico, is what you're asking? Are we planning to go
No,
to
I
Mexico?
said, let me clear the question if you heard me clear or not. Let me make sure you heard me. The days leading up to before Eligio got arrested, were all three of you guys supposed to leave together or separately?
Oh, together.
And what happened to where, I'm sorry, R. Marie, this is a private interview, baby. What happened to where you guys left separately? What made you guys leave separately?
What make you think we left separately?
Solar said you guys did. Solar said Pice went out the door and I wish I would have went with him.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. But when you guys got to Mexico and I called Shaka, Shaka told me who was staying with Mente and who was staying with him.
I wasn't with none of them.
Say that one more time.
I wasn't with none of them in Mexico. I didn't go to Mexico.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. When did you guys make the decision to leave separately?
Oh, like once we left there, I left separately from them. But we departed together. But once we departed together, I left them separately. And they did what they did. I never went.
Okay, I got another question. When you guys departed from there, who picked you guys up?
What you mean? Departed from
Who picked who
carbonation.
picked you guys up when you left out the door from the house
We
in
Uber,
Atlanta? Who picked
Uber,
you guys up?
Uber.
You Ubered?
Yes, Uber.
Okay, where did you guys Uber to?
Hotel.
I didn't hear you.
I said hotel.
Okay, so Janae in no point in time picked you guys up?
No, I personally Ubered, and I had to come with the money to Uber
Oh, you
personally.
Ubered by yourself.
No, I didn't. I Ubered there to the hotel with what's the name and what's the name, all three of us. Boom, we get to the
Uh-huh.
hotel, we beg, leave, Uber. You know what I'm saying? Uber. We even Ubered. We ended up linking with Janae. We had to Uber there. Never got picked up by her. It's not like she was mobile or nothing like that. We Ubered there.
Okay. And then Ubered with her because she don't have a car, basically.
She was already there
Gotcha.
when I arrived.
Because when you arrived, okay. Because the way it was described as if she picked Solar up. So
And
when
you
she
and you and
described,
you hearing this from who?
well,
Solar, right?
she did a video. No, no, Janae did a video saying that she's the one that picked him up because he didn't have shit.
I mean, she might have picked him up personally, but when I came from the wasn't there, I was at the where was I at? I was at the
Mm, 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 mm.
airport. I was at the airport. Yeah, like shit, don't be going down the way people be saying that shit go down. For me, I had a completely different experience. I left, went to a hotel, so Uber left in, went to a hotel, Uber somewhere else, went to a park. Then I had to go to the airport. Then from the airport, I had to go to the little lounge shit. Then I left. So it was like a whole process. Like I was not,
Right,
you know what I mean? Like for them, they might have did this or whatever and all that extra shit. But
right. Their experience was different. Okay. So you said she was there when you guys got to the hotel.
the it was like this little like sauna shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sauna shit, but yeah, she was there
And
already.
okay, she was there. That means somebody had to call her and tell her that they were coming, which I'm sure wasn't you.
You know what I mean?
Right. So she was there when you guys got there. Was had you talked to her? Had you had a conversation with her at all?
Nope.
Okay, so only Musa and Solar had the conversation with her?
Yep.
Okay. And then so at that point, At some point in time after that, you guys end up separating because they went to Mexico, right? And you went
Yep.
about your business. Got you.
Yep.
Do you think that do you believe that that Janae and Solar had a plan the whole time
To do what?
to leave together?
Oh, like when it was there, probably so, probably so. I wouldn't doubt it. Sounds like something.
Yeah, because for them to meet up at a hotel, I don't know. I didn't, you know what I mean? But for them to meet up at a hotel, I don't know. It
That's
just
like,
cautious.
nah, it was like, I don't know, man. It was a house of saunas, like a house, different
Oh, that's a
saunas.
bathhouse. Those are called bathhouse, baby. Yeah, those are called bathhouses.
It's a house of different saunas. Like, yeah.
Trouble heart,
And yeah, it
baby.
was like,
We're not done with the interview.
anyways, like, me, Solar, and what's name went to a hotel, Uber, stayed there. Then we Ubered to a, what was it? We Ubered to like a, yeah, we Ubered there to the fucking sauna. Like, it was a sauna, nigga.
Hmm.
Fucking sauna. Niggas, then we went about our business. Like, they did what they did, I did what I did. Like, no, we went to a park. I think then we do a split up. Like, that's how just how it was.
Yeah, because at a sauna, you really can't do shit at a sauna. You can't sleep there,
Nah,
right?
it was like a fucking hotel sauna house. I think
That
it was
sounds like bathhouse. They call them bathhouses.
a bathhouse, I guess, from what you say, if I'm describing it. So
Yeah.
it was like stay there at the bathhouse, whatever.
Okay. So then you guys stayed there, and so at that point in time, Solar and Janae, were they a couple at that time already or no?
Probably. I don't know. You
Probably.
gotta ask them. They was like, it was, you know what I mean? You gotta ask them on that one. Were they a couple? Were they? I don't know.
Was Eligio calling your phone once you left? Was he looking for you?
Nah, not really. He was like, I had a conversation with them before I left.
What about was he calling Solar? Was he calling Musa?
We was all there. It was me, him, and him,
Was
and
it?
Alihiho. It was Alihiho, me, Musa, and Solar. We had a conversation and left.
Oh, so y'all talked to the nigga like we out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we all know that conversation with Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, did not go that way. Because even behind bars, he still had full control over these young men and women.
Yeah, Solar did say that as well. That's true. Okay, so he knew you guys were leaving, so he was like, okay, cool. And it was so. What was that conversation like?
Why do I feel like you already know? That's the real question.
No, I want to know what the conversation was like. We're not. You're not talking to me directly. We're doing an interview. I got to keep telling you we're doing an interview. Don't nobody else in this room know what the I'm sure everybody is wondering what was the conversation like between you, Eligio, Solar, and Musa. Was it just like, hey, nigga, I'm leaving. I'm about to here. All right, nigga, I'll see you around the town, or what?
No, I was saying I was just expressing like I still feel like you already know because I've been answering a lot of questions that you already know. But I'm gonna continue
Okay, but
answering,
this
but I
this
get the
this
feeling
don't have
that you
nothing to do
already
with
know.
me. This is an
But like I'm gonna
interview.
tell you, I'm gonna answer the question right now. But like I'm just letting you know how I feel personally. But like the answer to the question is the conversation with like kind of like, all right, what y'all want to do? Are y'all gonna stay or gonna go? This is a good opportunity if you want to go. Like we was like, yeah, we gonna go type shit, and then we left.
Okay. So I'm just surprised he let you guys go so easily. That's really what I'm shocked at.
Yeah, he knew what time it was. He knew like the vibes, like niggas was already like fucking with him like that. So like it wasn't no big deal.
Mm.
Now, I'm almost sure that Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, felt that his finances needed to be actually funneled and directed to him from his prison cell. So he was trying to get rid of them. He couldn't take care of the cult anymore.
Mm. So the atmosphere had changed basically.
We was already changed. The atmosphere had been changed. It was just like when he came to visit Philly, it changed. Like motherfuckers was like he was already feeling it. Like motherfucker, we don't fuck with you like
Like
that.
tension on the compound type shit.
Like what?
Tension on the compound, meaning there was tension in the air.
Yeah, like you know what's up type shit.
Right. So at that point in time, from that point when you guys got to the house, it was just like, yeah, this is done. We done with this
Pretty much.
shit. Over it. Okay. So had you ever thought about joining another tribe once you left Carbonation?
No.
No.
Nope.
Did you have any plans when you left? Like you want to start your own business or?
I do want to start businesses, but I didn't immediately start thinking that like when I first left. You know.
Mhm. Okay. You just wanted. So what was your initial thought when you left? Was it that you just wanted to get away?
No, my initial thoughts was arranging um getting somewhere safe, just arranging it. That was like what was on my mind, making sure that it actually happened. That was like the first little moment. But like other than that, it was like, okay, I just need to start changing the direction of my life and manifesting what I need to manifest in my life to make it happen. It was just a shift for me. Like I had to realize
Okay.
what the fuck was going on and everything like that afterwards, looking back in hindsight. But it was just a shift altogether, like because it didn't take me long to put two and two together, like little shit that he used to do. Everything started clicking. It took me about like a week and a half, something like that, to really like. It really took me long to realize. That's why I stayed out the way. But long story short, like
Mhm.
because it was so short, I was able to start because I started realizing it so short. I was able to think about more important shit in my life that I had to handle. So once I started thinking about that, like it was just like it was nothing. Like it was a shift. Like I just focused my energy on what I needed to do. Once I started realizing,
Okay. All right. Anyways, okay. So you left Carbonation. You gone. Had you heard of a had? I know, baby. I know. Just continue doing what you're doing. Um, had you heard from Eligio once you left? Had you heard anything from him at all?
no,
Okay. So once you left, that was it. It was over with, done with, and that was it.
uh,
And then, so you weren't there when he initially got arrested.
no, I was there for that. But after that, I said once he got to jail and we said we went our separate ways. I haven't heard from him since.
Okay. Okay. So do you feel like there's something that he could have did differently as far as with running Carbonation? I'm sure you do.
I'd fucking run it. Psychotic ass to me.
Do you think he needs help? Because I noticed you keep saying that he's psychotic, and I agree with you on that. Do you feel like he needs help? And if he does get the help, do you think it's going to help him?
I don't know. I don't know about that one. Time will tell. But yeah, I think he does need help.
Okay. If he got out and he wanted to apologize to you, would you be willing to uh, accept his apology?
You said what?
Would you be, if he wanted to apologize, would you be willing to accept his apology?
Next question.
I can barely hear you.
Next question.
Okay. I got it. I got it, baby. I understand. Okay. Right now I'm gonna open up the questions to the I'm gonna open up the questions right now to anybody that wants to ask any questions. You guys have any questions? Go ahead and put them in the comments at this time. What happened to the white guy that was there? They want to know what happened to the white guy that was there.
He left.
Have you haven't heard from him?
Nah.
Okay. He said he left, but I believe I seen him on IG. So, and he wasn't the police, right?
I don't think so, no.
Do you think Mariah killing her mom was influenced by Eligio's teachings?
No, I think she was no. I not at all. I really do think she was having problems like, outside of
Okay.
like, her own
All
personal.
right. Did you know Fania was an officer, a police officer?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so Nature Boy, aka Three God, BKA Eligio Bishop, was hanging around with a police officer. That may be why he felt like he was so untouchable and could go absolutely, positively crazy on these people while he was in Georgia. That makes a lot of sense.
You did. Okay.
Yeah.
Was Eligio messing with Fania, or was that just his friend?
No, well, yeah, they were just friends. But she was a flirtatious person.
Oh wow. She's very pretty too. Okay. As a man, how did it make you feel you had to massage Eligio and rub his feet?
You talking about that video?
The video.
I wasn't even in that video.
He didn't rub his feet. Have you ever rubbed Eligio's feet
Nah,
or
I
rubbed on
wasn't
him,
even
his
in
back?
that. Yeah, I gave him a shoulder massage one time. On live, on
Okay.
Bigo. But I think that was like psychological rape. Like this nigga was on a beam pretty much. When I mean on a beam, like this nigga was going to one of them psychotic little
Say
beats.
that. Can you talk into the? We can barely hear you, Pice. AP. I'm
Can you
sorry, AP. We can.
hear me now?
Yeah. Yes, we can
I
hear you now.
said,
Repeat what you
I
just
said,
said.
I said, I said no. If you talking about that video, defeat. So I wasn't in that video. If you're asking if I ever massaged him, yeah, when he was in Atlanta, I gave him a shoulder massage on Bigo, on live, and but I argue that that shit. I argue that that shit is psychological rape. Real shit. I
Damn.
don't. Yup.
Mm, them big ass feet. Okay. Did you witness Eligio kicking Malia in the stomach?
Nah. That shit. Nah. That shit that Kay was talking
Nope.
about. Nah, that shit.
A team, B team, y'all. B team didn't hardly see shit. A team seen everything. Okay. He seemed to always try to feminize. The people believe that Alicia always tried to feminize you. Do you believe that's true?
Yeah. He was like something was wrong. Something wrong with that.
Mm. Okay. He looked scared. Were you scared of Alicia?
Nah, but I was like I was comprehending that I was walking on ice, cause it wasn't just like him, like nigga, I can grab a fucking anything and whip this nigga ass with the shit. Like it's not, it's fuck him. It's just the situation could be like we could be goddamn anywhere. I don't fucking know, a party or some shit, and like something go wrong, then a scene is caused and somebody can get hurt. And it's just like multiple people get hurt, like, and then other people are just fucked up too in the head. So it's like, are y'all about to start bugging out too and do some shit and hurt somebody? So it's just like I be looking at the like bigger picture with the shit. Like I don't give a fuck about this nigga. This nigga can get knocked the fuck out, shot and smoke shit. But it's just like when it comes to like the everybody plus the surroundings, nah, nigga, ain't nobody trying to pop off. I be afraid of the situations that might occur, but not like not him as an individual.
Okay. Were you also disgusted by him at any point in time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Were you disgusted because, let me ask you this. This is something that I want to know really, like, because me looking into the whole thing, this is a black man who could have did so much with the things that he had in the palm of his hands. Do you ever feel like he fumbled the fucking ball?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely feel like it was a waste of time, and
Let's get into
definitely
that.
something. He, man, what, bro? If you would have let us lock into the music, let us lock into all different type of shit, really network, and not trying to be as controlling, we would have locked in. What the fuck? If he didn't fucking was obsessed with women or some shit like that, nigga, what? We could have locked in on Netflix documentaries, the bag for real, get bags on bags. You know what I'm saying? Hella bags, merchandise, hella bags, hella bags.
I got another question for you, baby. Do you feel like
YouTube
not
ads,
carbon?
boy.
Do you feel like a tribe can be created amongst African Americans where we could learn the knowledge, grow our own fruits and vegetables, live together in a community successfully, have our own laws and bylaws? Do you think that's something that we could ever do or accomplish?
Yeah, I do. I do think we can accomplish that. I don't think it's no time soon, though. Not at all. Are we capable?
Would
Yeah.
you be ever Would you ever be willing to try to put something like that together where young artists come together, poetry come together, people who can cook, herbalists come together? Would you be ever willing to put something like that together?
I mean, absolutely. That doesn't sound like a bad idea at all. I mean, that sounds like something I'd be interested in, but nothing like a cult. But it would be more so like a
Nothing
festival,
like a
maybe
cult.
like a
Yeah.
festival or something. Yeah,
Do
sure,
you
like
know how to grow
festivals.
fruits and vegetables?
I mean, it's really not that hard. It's not.
Actually, it is harder than what I thought because you got to have the right soil. You got to have make sure the right bugs are in the soil. It's like a
I
whole
don't know.
chemistry project.
I got a green thumb, I guess.
Oh, Dr. Green Thumb. Let me find out you got a green thumb. Even marijuana is good to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, how did everyone feel when Eligio was on news wanted for not paying for delivery of Ellie? Tone,
Wait, what?
you're asking how did everybody on the news because he didn't pay for baby Ellie being born? Is that what you're asking, Tone?
What the hell? I ain't never know that.
He didn't know anything about it. Okay, let's go to the next question. Dexter, you out of here. That is definitely a troll. Your dad said he'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I'm on live. Let's keep it going. What was the difference between praising Velvet versus Malia as queen? That's a good question, Tone. That's a good question. What was the difference for you guys praising Malia versus uh praising Velvet versus Malia as queen?
It was no different to me. It was just whatever. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody perfect, so it's like I see flaw within everybody. So it's like, including myself. So it's like it felt no different to me.
Did you miss any major family events being in carbonation that you regret?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I would love Christmas, birthdays, and shit like that. Yeah, I guess
Oh,
all of those things.
I have a question for you. If your daughter or son came to you at the age of 18 and said, Dad, I want to go what if they didn't use the word cult? What if they said, I want to go to this spiritual group and I want to live with these people? What would you tell them?
I would advise them not to. I would advise him not to, or her not to. If it was a daughter, it wouldn't
Hmm.
matter. I would advise you not to. I would urgently advise you not to. You know what I mean? Of course, they probably already would know my situation. They probably wouldn't even ask something like that. But you know, if so happened they did, I would just direct them in a different direction. You know,
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, that's a good answer. Can you give me 5 red flags of a cult?
like okay, uh, the head of it thinks they're God. Boom. Um, red flag.
Yeah.
There's drugs involved, I guess. That's number two. If there's any type of drugs involved, or alcohol or anything like that.
Somebody going on.
I know. That's not my shit. They turned it off though, but
Okay, go ahead.
I guess drugs. The leader think they're God. Uh,
What about mind manipulation?
that's a tricky one because you don't sometimes that you don't know.
Okay.
So it's like if it's mind manipulation, if it's like hidden to that person, that really not a red flag.
Hmm.
They can peep. You know what I mean? Like how you able to peep the mind manipulation if you get manipulated. You know what I mean? I mean from the outside looking in, yeah, mind manipulation, but from the inside looking out, being no.
Okay. My daughter said no freedom. Would that be another one?
I wouldn't say that because some coats like be having fucking all type of mobility, helicopters and some more shit.
Damn. Okay. Would you ever join? I'm not calling it a cult, but Tron. Tron is he's locked in with the what's the name of them again? Hanukkah.
Tron is now with the Nawapians. He is practicing that spiritual teaching and way of life.
I don't
That's
know
his
what
new
the fuck
name.
that is.
That's his new name. Tron's new name is Hanukkah, and
Say it
he
one more
is with. Don't laugh at me. Hanukkah.
time.
That's Tron's new name, but he is with the Naders, or like Netter and them. He's with the Netters.
Oh my goodness.
Comedic science. Comedic science. Would you ever be willing to join them?
So you asking me would I join Shanetter and Hanukkah?
No, I'm asking, would you join the same spirituality group that Tron is in right now?
Say his real name. Goddamn.
Tron. Or do you want me to
No,
go get his legal name?
I would not. I would not. Logan. Head
Okay.
ass.
Tron, get off the Wi-Fi.
Y'all stupid, bro. Y'all really made that up. That shit fucking funny.
They thought it was so funny though. That was like the ongoing joke. Somebody said, I miss Tron doing the wheelchair. You guys got to remember, this was like a reality story, you guys, and the story is over. The credits are rolling. Do you plan on writing a book about your experience?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God, that book will be wonderful. I could see you with your little
Maybe
glasses
put it
on.
in
Something.
music. Musically, maybe.
Oh, a musical book? That would be beautiful. Nobody's never done that
Oh
before. That's something nobody's
Okay.
never done.
That's a whole nother shit.
All right. So do you have any new music coming out?
Yeah, yeah. In due time.
Okay. All right. So you said in due time. And also, last but not least, do you keep up with any of your do you keep up with anybody like Caliber, um, Tron? I'm just throwing names out there. Do you talk to anybody?
Not really. I really just stay to myself for real, for real.
Okay. At any
Had
time do you feel
conversations with
like
people, but like, I stay to myself.
okay. At any time do you feel like you may need therapy? Or do you think that this is something that you can get over just taking day by day?
It's something I can get over taking day by day.
I definitely disagree with that because I feel that it's important that they all receive some type of therapy or deprogramming from the cult.
Okay. Do you plan on having any more babies?
Not right now. In the future,
I
yeah.
see. Okay, okay. And how's Sunny doing for those that are going to ask? How's Sunny doing?
I'm not too sure. Last time she spoke to me and we had a conversation, she was doing okay. Right now, I have no
That's good.
idea.
Okay. Have you seen your baby?
Hmm. Online, like I've talked to him on the phone, spoke to him, knows who I am.
Oh,
This relationship established, but like I have not seen him in person.
I know you miss him.
Mhm.
I definitely know you miss your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, does anybody have any more questions? Any questions about when he went overseas? He said he didn't believe, so let's delve into some things really quick. He said he never really had a concrete plan when they were in Philly um to leave. But as far as Musa and Solar, that's a different story. They could have had a definitely a concrete plan. Um, and now listening to him and listening to his side of the story, you guys, I believe he was oblivious to a lot of things.
I strongly disagree that he was oblivious to a lot of things. There's no way that you're living with those many people in such close quarters and be oblivious to a lot of things. I feel personally that Pice, aka Armand, is trying to distance himself from any of the drama, issues, and or abuse that went on while he was in the cult.
As well as um, I think he may suspect what we all suspect, but he doesn't. He's not for sure. So I want to end this interview with this. Okay, I'm going to ask this question, but I also want to end the interview with this. Okay, Miss Curtis says, "Do you believe Eligio is guilty of the charges that he's facing with Janae?"
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you in carbonation?
4 years.
Okay, that's a long time. Okay. Do you believe that Janae knew that Eligio, when she tried to leave, that Janae knew Eligio would try to do something that could possibly put him in jail?
Like she was expecting it. Yeah, probably.
Do you
She's
believe
smart.
before she is smart? Do you believe before that happened, before she tried to leave and the situation happened? Do you believe that her and Solar had a plan to leave?
Probably so. It's likely, highly.
Okay. Do you think Musa was a part of that plan?
Yeah, probably. If there was a plan to be made, yeah. I don't see
I
why
got
not.
one last question. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. The day Eligio got arrested and went to jail, Were you guys all underneath the surface like really happy, or were you guys like, fuck, this nigga in jail?
What you mean?
Were you guys happy when he went to jail? Were y'all happy that the nigga was gone and y'all was free?
Oh, I didn't come to that conclusion until afterwards. At first, I was really like, we gotta help you get out. But then once I started realizing more and more and more, like like I said, there was no concrete plan in Philly, so when we got to Atlanta, it was just like, I am kind of feeling, like this is not probably in my best interest to stay. I'm still gonna be like loyal and shit like that. But once you start treating motherfuckers like shit from the jail phone, I started being like, I gotta go somewhere.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. So the longer he was gone, the more you got clarity.
Right.
And then once you got clarity, you were out.
Yeah.
When Aaron left, I'm sorry, I keep saying I'm done, but I got another question. When Aaron left, do you believe that in the back of his head he had wanted to leave when you guys all left?
Yeah.
How long do you think that your brother Aaron wanted to actually leave?
Since man, long time.
Wow. I firsthand want to apologize for the experience, although it was a life experience and we all got to go through our life experiences and our journeys. But I apologize, baby, that you had to even go through that because that's something that you shouldn't have never had to go through. Dealing with that man and the psychological abuse, that's some fucked up shit. Believe me, I know because I've had it done to me in a different way. So I'm sorry you had to go through that. I wish you the best of luck. I wish you all positive vibes in your future endeavors. Um, if anybody has anything else to say, Sugar Avery or anybody else, please go ahead and ask your questions. I'll give you guys a few minutes. It's already 9 o'clock. So, Goddess, Tone, any of you guys, if you have any questions at all, please ask now. Don't hold back. Ask. Does anybody have any questions? Nobody has any questions? Okay, Callie, with that, you can go ahead and cut the recording.
All right, y'all. So that's the end of the interview with Pice, aka Armand. And I believe that there were some details that were learned, new details, but I really, really honestly feel like Pice skipped around a lot of the questions. And honestly, I feel that he spent a lot of time trying to distance himself from a lot of the drama, the abuse, even denying that he wasn't there when Joy left. Clearly, I showed the video footage that he was. But at any rate, y'all, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave me a comment, drop me a like. Replay gang, hey y'all. And a big shout out and welcome to all of my new subscribers and to my OGs. Big up yourself. We in the building.